И все-таки попробовать куфру, но я сомневаюсь, что Грок на эксп прям маловероятно.
Halo guys, welcome ya yang sedang mampir ya, welcome. Pernah nggak diganggu nggak sih? Pernah nggak welcome? Oke, ini gue mau ini dulu ya, restream sama chat gue ya guys. Sorry ya, ada aja gue ganti PP anjir, chat gue marah-marah cuk. Hancur gitu. Welcome ya yang sedang mampir ya, welcome. Udah soal lagi nih, besoknya tuh. Oke guys, bakal yang sedang mampir, yang sedang gabut ya. Pernah nggak welcome? Pernah. Tuh harus ini dulu guys, buat Game of Future ya. Ya, welcome guys, yang sedang mampir ya. Aduh guys, gue harus coba dulu. Yo, gue bingung guys, tengahnya gimana ini? Ngobrol, gue harus mati sesi ngobrol ya. Yang aja gue matiin Discord nih. Terus, hmm? Welcome guys yang sedang mampir ya. Welcome ya. Berarti gue udah sip. Ada dulu gue. Saya ngobrol aja dulu dah. Single. Guys, welcome yang sedang mampir ya, yang sedang gabut. Welcome. Mana sih? Ya kan? Halo, assalamualaikum.
Tuh.
Assalamualaikum. Yeay. Enggak tuh, nggak pakai ini sayang apa? Nggak pakai
Udah,
yang
udah.
Hah?
Udah.
Dah, ya. Mari kita restream. Yeay. Sebentar, mau setting dulu nih. Masih, gimana sih? Share your screen. Kok salah sih? Ini tim apa sayang sekarang sayang?
Nggak tahu. Aku
Stream B bukan sih?
Hah?
Kan di sini ada dua ini sayang, ada grup stake 2, stream A, stream B ini.
Nah, yang mana tuh?
Balik dah aja. Coba lihat dulu. Oh, masih apa brand sayang?
Kayaknya udah lewat deh.
Enggak, tadi si bikin aja bentar lagi katanya. Gitu, sebentar.
Ya.
Mau yang apa brand dulu?
Udah.
Yang benar.
Ini
Coba.
aku lihat di beken udah nih.
Apa stream B?
Nggak tahu deh yang mana.
Coba.
Diperiksa dua-duanya.
Oke, periksa ya. Berarti tadi
Yang
tuh
B.
yang B. Oke. Ini apa brand lewat twisted means? Berarti A berarti. Oh iya bener. The Asphalt. Cara share screen dulu ya. Kelihatan?
Udah.
Oh berarti kita ke nobar ya. Maaf. Sisi ngobrol matiin. Nah kita ke nobar. Iya. Gak ada suaranya ya sayang ya? Sebentar ya.
Di A ding.
Kenapa saya? Kok
Di
nggak?
A.
Iya A. Tapi kok nggak ada suara ya? Sebentar. Oh.
How synergized the side of Deuce Volts is looking, there's going to be a lot of CC, but there's a lot of sustainability to work into the favor of RQ Hoshi as we are now getting ready to jump into the most anticipated match of the Game of Futures 2024 group stage. RRQ out from Indonesia going up against Deuce Volts from Russia. Who will be able to claim this series?
Yeah, Brusco going out to give the vision here for RRQ Hoshi, knowing that Magister actually started off with that red buff. Maybe possibly just trying to be a menace here, or a nuisance rather, in the jungler here up against Diaz Vault. Even Octa is here rotating towards them, but Kid Bomba though on the top side, a solo kill being picked up there by the Benedetta, by Banana here of RRQ Hoshi. But Brusco right now getting dealt with here by Sawo,
Oh,
being punished there for
RRQ
overextending.
A quick response,
biru.
1-1 on the board, but man, not too often do you see a Ruby fall this early in the game. It's one of the most sustainable
Tes
heroes,
satu
especially on a
Brusco,
1v1. I mean, a
Octa,
Ruby can
Irat,
1v3
Banana, Skylar.
when teams try and dive her, just
Tapi
with the amount of
menurut
CC she
Ayang
has
bagus yang
available.
mana nih, Yang?
Kid Bomba just kind of being a little too overly aggressive. Gotta put some respect on Banana with that Benedetta. I mean, he's a Benedetta
Ya menurut
main so
Ellen
far,
yang
at least in the
mana?
game of futures with how well he's been executing.
Lebih menang
But I will
siapa?
say, Kid Bomba, another up-and-coming prospect in the XP lane, can definitely give him a little bit of a challenge. But you are going to see the other death on the other side of the
50-50 sih
table.
ini.
That is going to be Sawo,
Kalau
who did pick up the assist.
50-50.
The kill went to
Lebih unggul
Magister. That
kemana
was the
deh?
jungle for the side of Deuce Vulture. She's going to put him a little bit ahead of Irad in terms of these rotations and farm.
Sebenarnya
Looking
kalau
at
mau
the
kuat,
emblems here too
paling
for both sides.
kuatan
RQ Hoshi, a lot of those quantum charges coming out from Banana and Brusco, just to have that extra
soalnya ini kan dua
extra mobility for the
RRQ
team.
kan
And
dua
RQ right now,
healer.
lots of pressure on the XP lanes.
Bis-
A thing that we've
healer
seen in
tuh.
other teams too. Pressure out the XP
Tapi
lanes
lihat-
so that they can
lihat
bukan
aja.
dua
have
support gak sih?
a really good position when it comes
Iya,
to these
maksudnya
turtle
dua
fights. And
support.
we all know that the turtle fights, it's a tug of war between the two teams. Sawo does not have that ultimate
Seperti
just
biasa,
yet.
Kid Bomba.
Turtle's at half HP, and it's actually going to be a reset here by both sides. 1-1 in the 2-minute
Tapi
mark.
kalau
No
menurut
one's still
Ama, RRQ sih
in the
saya.
lead right now, but everyone is looking to take it in for themselves by at least
Ya kan,
taking in the first
kalau
objective
misalkan
here, which
dari
is going to be
segi
turtle.
ada yang badanin
You know
paling
what, I
si
kinda said
Irat
I was
doang.
favoring Deuce Volt's draft, but honestly,
Kalau buat
I'm
ya
liking
kalau badan
both sides. This may be the
Irat
best drafting I've seen
sama
so far in
Brusco
Game of
paling
Futures
gede itu.
2024.
Kalau
Both
misalnya
of
si
them have
Brusco-nya
great synergy. You have the
semi
Mathilda
tank
to
ya.
use the guiding wind to be able to keep Barat alive and get him to safety when needed.
Bisa
There goes
itu.
a circling eagle over there, wrapping around from
bingung.
Brusco. You're going to see Banana taking some damage. You
Nah,
saw
udah
like
ini
him
mah.
on blow.
Attack.
Irad will be able to claim the turtle.
Woo.
Inside of RQ Hoshi, and now a possible punish
Yeah.
play. Magister very low. Space migration in. Sawo takes down Banana. Octa finds
Nah,
Magister.
kan tapi ada
Both sides still even on the scoreboard, 2-2, but RQ Hoshi
Ada apa
takes
sih?
the first neutral objective.
ya ada kayak apa
Definitely a better
namanya?
trade there. Let's take a look at the
Soalnya dia
replay.
kan
What actually went down was
support, jadi
Banana goes in for the Electo final blow, and then
itu
you got in that
maksudnya
nether
nggak
from
mati
Octa to
semua
save the
gitu.
day. It was a
Paling cuma
1-for-1
satu.
trade. Banana was punished, but in for the price of Magister, definitely worth it here for RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, definitely worth it indeed. But it's still pretty even in terms of the economy. You're looking at RQ Hoshi leading by about 700 gold. Keep in mind, this is one of the top
Wih, dua tuh
regions in
kena.
MLBB,
Mati
Indonesia.
tuh.
Deuce Volts definitely having a lot to prove here on how far they have came as a region from Russia, right? They placed 4th place inside of M5, taken down by Blacklist from the Philippines, but now gonna go ahead and show Indonesia what they're about. RQ Hoshi looking stronger than ever though with that first neutral objective. We'll go ahead and give him a
Itu
massive XP boost and a good
purify
start
semua
for
ya.
the early
Kenapa
phase.
sih?
Looking at the side laner, Skylar
Banyak
is going to be running this
purify.
thing, going up against
Brusco,
Hiko on
Octa,
this Claude.
Skylar.
Both of them late game damage dealers, but definitely
Iya
can
kan
hit
karena ada
very
ini
hard
saya Gwyn
if
ya.
both teams can scale. So I would say needing to kind of
Berapa
put some
kalau
pressure
gak
on
ada
the
Gwyn?
gold lane would be a really good start for either side if they want to try and take advantage
Mungkin
of this
Nathannya
early
ini
game
kali
and
apa,
have mid
Fury?
control.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here too for split pushes coming out from RRQ. They got the Benedetta. They also
Gas.
got in that
Gas. Pastilah.
Nathan. But there you go, Irad getting in Sunset Lover there. Nice setup there by Brusco to
Lover.
enable that play coming out from RRQ Hoshi. This is big. Especially before the turtle fight, you don't have the vision coming out from the
Gak bisa
Navaria, and
ketebak
this is
sih ini,
something
nggak
that they
tahu.
definitely
Lihat
need
aja ada
right
yang
now,
blunder.
because you see the zoning that
Pastilah
Banana has been
dimanfaatin
doing,
itu.
and at the same time the
Soalnya
network to
ini
keep
Despo kan
everyone
kuda
healthy
hitam
when it
juga
comes
kan.
to these team fights. Magister going to be starting it up. Let's take a look at the items here.
Kuda
So far,
hitam
we
M5
actually
kan.
see the Claude here. Hiko actually picking up the corrosion side, and for Nathan, it's a very early pickup on the penetration boost. So he actually wants to go in for that magic burst damage, and then to add it all up, I think he's building up that holy crystal for his next
Brusco-nya
item.
tuh
Ooh, special migration with the knockup.
Ini
Astro
kayaknya
Echo going down from Sunset
Apa
Level,
sih?
forcing
tipis
out for the
banget.
nether realm.
Tipis banget
Everybody's
Brusco-nya.
still intact.
Iya
though.
kalau
Turtle
kan
does
sekarang
get
mah
reset.
jadi item
Both
magic
teams still
semua
fighting
saya.
it out. get as well from connected.
Kid Bomba.
Irrad for the stun on the wall.
Oh,
Kid Bomba
Widih.
trying to
Ih.
select the
Petrified.
5-1 for Banana, but Kid Bomba able to get out in time. Big
Sisihin nggak sih?
play, huge evasive maneuver, and Kid Bomba able
Jangan
to
lah.
sustain himself.
Nggak,
Kalau
kalau
dikejar.
kalau skill
At about
1,
50% HP.
skill 1
You know, it's funny
Sicilian
enough when
udah
you see
mati tuh
Matilda
Ruby
grabbing
sebenarnya.
up Irrad, I don't call it a drive-by, it's a
Makanya
flyby.
nggak pakai
How they can get
Fly
the setup.
Sicilian ya.
Banana will find
Iya, harusnya
Master over
Sicilian.
there, gets one, and another turtle going
Soalnya
to RRQ.
Matilda
Hoshi is
satu
now
cukup
leading
sih
by 2
sebenarnya.
kills. Irrad though, out of position, may need to get back. Brusco,
Mati.
Waduh.
Mati nggak
to
sih?
get him to safety.
Ih,
Guiding
ngeselin
in,
kalau udah
able to
kayak
slide
gini.
out of there. The stun though, Octa going in, trying to deal some damage. Will be able to escape a good save for RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, gets that guiding wind out, and this is exactly why the Matilda is the most picked, most banned currently in Case of the Future. Even though with the adjustments that were made to it, it still provides that kit that the team needs, but especially since the team fights right now, it's so much more evident than the previous patch. You got all these heavy CC, the Rubies, the Minotaurs that seem to be the prio pick here of a lot of the teams. And with the Matilda, it just
Ih,
provides
jelek
so much
banget
shield.
kalau
You
kayak
see
gitu mah.
how much Irad was taking in earlier, and with that guiding wind, just like that, he was able to
Tapi ya,
escape that clash. You see how fast the
Ella,
turrets are being pushed here over at the top
Apa?
side and the bottom
pernah
side.
pakai
The
Gwyn
same case
Rom
that
nggak?
happened also for Burmese Rules. The space
Sudah pernah
that is
sih.
being given here right now. Look at all the creeps. It's being taken away here by RQ Oshi up against Magister that has been picked off twice already in this game.
Yeah, RQ Hoshi just way quicker to these objectives, putting Deuce Volts in an awkward position. Hiko
Waduh, udah
very
sih.
low.
Menang
Skylar
lah
rushing
ini.
in,
Pasti.
able to deal the final
Kalau bisanya
blow.
hierarkinya
Gets
gak
back
blunder
out to
mah
safety
bisa
with
sih.
the power of entropy. 5-2 on the scoreboard and now up by 4,000 gold. You did see Irrad pick up the blade armor too, already prepping for Hiko as he gets a couple more of those core items such as that golden staff.
Magister.
Those are basic attacks, but Magister
Waduh.
rushing in.
Wah,
He's going to use the
kena.
mortar coils.
Wah.
He's down very low.
Salah.
Violent Requiem
Kesalahan
for the double
berpikir.
setup. Magister hits the
Mati.
decimation, takes
Ih.
down Octa.
Irad's still
So
alive.
linebacker now may be able to
Mati
go
kan?
in, but Rat's very low.
Widih.
We'll go back to Skylar, finds Sunset Lever from afar. 6-3 RRQ Hoshi.
Lebih bagus
leading
ini
the
ya
early.
saya transisinya
Let's take a look
dibanding
at that
F5.
replay. Nice
Yeah,
circle
see?
eagle there for from the side of RRQ
Yeah.
Hoshi. They got that nice setup from Sawo though, and that
Kalau-
tug in
kan
from Kid Bomba.
Kalau
It was
apa
only
namanya, kalau
Octa
blunder
that
itu
paid the
masalahnya
price
kalau
there,
misalkan
and
nggak salah
that's
ya.
what we really get when you have that
Kalau
nether
RRQ
realm
tuh
up, right? Like you're
sekali
able to
blunder
sustain
tuh
anyone,
langsung
you're able to do all
panik
these aggressive
gitu.
dives that RRQ Hoshi
Kalau dilihat
has
dari
been
yang
doing even
sebelumnya.
under the turret here of
Iya
Deus
sih.
Bolt. Here comes the vision coming out from the side of Deus Bolt. I think it is going to go to the side of RRQ Hoshi here, but here comes the Circle Eagle once again from Brusco.
Aduh, nggak
Connecting
bisa.
full bullseye on the Magister, able to get away though. 1 HP escape, another round prop.
Whoosh.
Octa getting away. Good saves from Brusco so far with the guiding win on this Matilda. I guess we're seeing why it's the most banned hero of Game of Futures 2024.
Wah,
I mean, just
benar kan
look
Semiteng
how
kan?
well he's executing on keeping his team alive. Not only providing the escapes, but providing the shields when necessary to negate the damage.
Wow, look at
Sebenarnya salah sih
the
pemilihan
gold here of
Discord ke Gwynro.
Banana, 6,370. A whole lot more than what Kin Bomba has, who's standing at the 4,399. I mean, even the Matilda
Waduh.
here has so
Salah,
much
salah.
more gold. And look at this, ongoing fights all across the
Udah.
board. Sawo unable to get that setup, but Rad's taking out a lot of the damage this time, not
Hilang
able to
langsung.
get out the Blazing Duet to clear
Sakit
out the
banget
waves.
loh
And
itunya.
that is going to be Rad for
Pastilah,
the
saya apa yang
price
nggak
of
sakit?
taking in the turrets here. It is still going to be Deus Bolt finding
Soalnya
something
kan Nata
out of that
MMAG
one.
kan?
It's funny you were talking about Banana's gold. He even had more gold than Hiko, and he's in the gold lane.
Tapi kenapa
That just
pemilihannya
shows you how well
gak Hanabi
Banana
saya?
is performing today. As you are going to go ahead and see the Lord take
Apa?
the tier 2 turret on the
Ya,
bot
itu
side.
si
The map
Despo
opening up
harusnya
for the side of
milih
RQ
dengan
Hoshi, claiming the
Cloud
majority of the real
sama
estate
Nabi.
produced Volt so far, having a hard time
Mungkin ya
responding,
nggak mau
and now
diculik aja
down
kali kan, soalnya nih
5,000
Brusco-nya
gold.
maju-maju
Highest
ya.
scores on the game is a tie between
Nabi
Skylar
sekali
and
di
Banana. A battle from the side lanes, who we
terbangin sama
mentioned
si
having such a strong
Brusco.
game, especially when they
Mau
went against
kemana
Team
dia?
Logan. They had a hard time just beating them on the one-on-one matches
Kali.
from the side lanes.
Soalnya
This
kan
is where RRQ
nggak
Hoshi
tahu
thrives.
tadi
You're able to see
pemilihan
Skylar
pertamanya
often
tuh
be able
gimana
to
kan.
beat his
Iya,
opponent in
tapi
that
kan
lane. And
kalau
the same thing with
ya
Banana
itu
running the
masuk di
Benedetta.
akal
Able
juga.
to
Wah, ini
out-rotate
digas
the
nih.
rotation.
Digas
Sawa
nih.
checks the
Nice
push.
setup.
Fish migration in for the setup, and now the nether realm response from
Udah,
RQ
udah
Hoshi.
ini abis.
Sending it. Kibamba very low. Gets
Gimana
away
nak?
with Banana. Like the final blows to safety. And
Udah
neither
bang,
side
mundur.
find any casualties.
Oh no, but Irad right in the middle of everything. Sawo does not have that
Irad
setup
udah
just yet.
tebel
Irad
nih.
can pretty much tank up
Udah lah,
any
itu
of the
udah
damage
pasti.
being tossed out here by Deus Bolt. 10 minutes in, RRQ Hoshi with
Aduh,
a
Skylarnya nih
32k
tadi nih.
lead.
Sakit
And
banget.
of course, the real estate that is really
Lihat,
pricey these
lihat
days. And something that RRQ Hoshi
si apa
definitely
namanya?
has in this game. Not
Yang
only that, they can
hyper,
also get
ya.
all the resources around the
Martisnya
map.
aja
Deus Bolt not able to take any
Tiga
kalah
damage
dua
as
damage
of
nih.
the
sama
moment. And
si
30 seconds
Tapi
in,
Martisnya
we're going to
Skylar.
be
dijadiin
seeing
ini
the
nggak sih
first
sayang?
Auto Gate spawn in the
Tank?
Land of Dawn. As for Deus Bolt, they
Enggak.
really need to have these
Aduh.
nice setups coming out
Tuh kan bener,
from Kid
mau
Bomba
semitan dia.
or Sawo here. And
Ya
so far,
tapi
they've been getting it. But what's
gimana kalau
really
tank
hard is
semua? Berarti
Alta's been
ngandelin
popping
si
in that Nether Realm, which
Kalau
Kiko
is
itu.
kind of like everybody's health is all the way back up to full. So pretty much
Ngandelin si
nullifies
itu berarti
what the
damage-nya
setups
siapa?
are doing. But what they really
Clouded
need right
MM-nya.
now
Maria.
is going to be the Blazing Duet coming out from Hiko. I saw that he actually picked up the Demon Hunter Sword
Ini
already,
ya.
Cloudnya
going
udah
in for the
kalah.
Golden Staff for his
Udah
next
kalah
item.
Sebenarnya
So
damage
he
sama
should
si
be able to
Clouded
Skylar.
push a
sebenarnya
great
nggak
amount
kalah
of
damage
damage
sayang
once it
kalau
at least
semisalnya
reaches the
Cloudednya
50 mark
beli
of the
si
game.
Halberd.
But RRQ Hoshi is not letting up. They're going to be taking in this Lord without any contest at all
Kalau
from
beli
Deus
si
Bolt.
Halberd udah
And
bocor
Deuce
itu
needs to watch out
healing-healing
for
kayak gitu.
Skylar. He's already 2,000 gold ahead of Hiko. I mean, you see how fast he shredded down that Lord, and that's just kind of a little bit of a preview on what he's going to be able to do if it comes to these 5v5 engagements if Deuce Bolt is not careful. Now, they need to find a way to turn this around, right? It's not too far out of the ballpark yet for them to have a chance to turn this game in their favor, but they may have to start playing for the late game.
Alah,
I mean,
sembari
you're seeing
makan
this Lord
spong
crash
ya.
in. They're down to their inhibitors
Spong.
already at the 12-minute mark, and RQ Hoshi going in for blood. Ketsusawa has to use
Oh,
special
Kid
migration to get out
Bomba.
with Skylar. We'll find Kid Bomba on the top side. Electrify the blood.
There's the
Petrify
Petrify.
on the stun. Jorgensen's Blaze Duet forced out Skylar. We'll find the inhibitor opening up the base
Oh,
for
the Totus
Dusko.
welcome.
Now the counterplay. Magister very low. Now the
Wih.
mouse going down. Skylar with the
Aduh.
mega kill finds Magister. 2 members down for Deuce Volts, and the
Lihat.
base has been cracked open. RQ Hoshi
Gila.
completely dominating this last 12 minutes.
Oh, it's only Sunset Lover. Sawo and Eagle left to defend. Can they make it? There's a lot of minions coming in here, crashing in the base
Bisa
of
nggak sih,
Deus
En?
Bolt. They still got that Blazing Duet though. Can they defend this one? 12 minutes in. RRQ Hoshi just taking it. Can
Wow.
they this time? But there
Habis.
comes the clapback
Nggak
here
bisa,
from
nggak bisa.
RRQ Hoshi. Banana. Wow, 2 for the price of none. RRQ Hoshi.
Dia ada
Everyone's
healer.
alive right now.
Gak bisa
Yeah,
gitu.
Master Echo does connect.
Tapi
Provide a lot of
healer
slow on
juga
RQ
nggak
Hoshi,
ngaruh
but they're
saya
still
kalau
taking
misalnya
the
si
fight
Cloudednya
to their home
beli
turf.
item
They're
si
not
Halberd
pulling
mah.
no punches today as they're going to try and go in for some more. Looks like they want that last inhibitor turret. It may fall. Deuce Volts trying to contest, giving it their all, but RRQ Hoshi holding that Indonesian flag high, letting them know, Viva RRQ. Deuce Volts definitely need to find a way to turn this around.
11.3k for Skylar here, and he goes standing at 9,000. Yes, he does have the core items here of the Claude, but the timing here of the Nether Realm too is something that they have to watch out for, not to mention the free hits here of Skylar, who hasn't been shut down just yet. 401 rather on the Nathan. 45 seconds in, one more Lord here could actually be it here for the side of Deus Bolt. They got the Nathan here. They got the Barretts to tank everything up, not to mention the shields that Brusco have been providing. Iran has already picked up that immortality, so kind of gearing up for that final fight here up against Deus Bolt.
The seal play has been called out though. Special migration for the knock-up. Death is welcome going down. Sawo taking some heavy hits, is going to be able to get out to safety.
Gas ya sih?
Making the most out of the Guinevere with engage and disengage from that spatial migration. But now, look at RQ Hoshi already on to the next objective. They've been doing this entire game. That hive mentality, everybody moving as a unit. Gonna go in for this Lord, and Deuce Volt's not in a position to contest, but they may try to, as look at Kid Bomba thirsty for a set. He needs to open this up for Deuce Volts if they have a chance. He has the Offended ready, but can he get it? He's gonna
Yes,
use
yes,
it. He finds Brusco, but is that the target he really wants? Brusco able to get away. That is
Banana
the
from the
Matilda,
back,
not
though.
the target you want. Banana wrapping around the backside. Electrify a blow. Looks at the Blazing Duet from
Ooh,
Hiko.
sakit
Connects him
banget.
to RQ Hoshi, but not dealing massive damage. Major utility off the board for both sides, but RRQ Hoshi gaining control
no, Skylar,
of the
no.
Lord pit. Now they're going
Yeah,
down
kebetulan
Skylar.
banget,
They'll find
emang
Sawo. They're going in for the kill. They don't need the Lord. They
Yeah,
want to
backdoor.
finish
Oh,
it.
Banana
They are
scooping
on
up
the
the waves.
chase. Banana with the split push capability, showcasing his mastery on this Benedetta, forcing Deuce Volts back into the base, and they will claim this Lord
Oh.
uncontested.
You see how RQ Hoshi was just baiting out all of those ultimates, baiting those purifies from the side of Deus Pulse, so they don't have anything. Once they headed to the Lord fight, it was a free Lord for RRQ. Banana even cleared out that wave on the mid side just to make sure that the minion waves will go to the side of Deus Vault, pressuring them to go back to their base. 15 minutes in, 50,000 for the side of RRQ Hoshi. It's almost an 11k lead for the Kingdom, and they're looking to take in this first game up against Deus Vault. Here comes the Lord. 50-minute marks, the enhanced Lord for the side of RRQ Hoshi. The only thing here for Deus Vault to do is to have that setup, but right now the mobility, the shields that is being provided here by Brusco is not something that they can easily deal with. Here comes the setup from the side of Sawo, but Brusco comes in with a clapback.
Yeah,
gagal.
Striker will connect too as well. Of course, that Netherrealm Octa gets killed. Skylar finds Cywolf. You're going to go ahead and see the Blazing Duet go down. Lord almost burst it out of the game, but makes his way to the base. Crystal, 50%. Octa gets a double, takes out Kid Bomba. 10%. Skylar finds he going down. Goes the base. Viva RRQ takes
Victory.
game 1 up against Deuce Volt in group stage winners match. My goodness, what a show.
I mean, this is what we expected, right? A matchup just like this. RRQ Hoshi and Deus Vault. RRQ Hoshi just stopped the tracks here at Deus Vault. Like, they got that Matilda, which is actually one of the top picks right now. And you can understand why these teams have been banning it away. You see the shields that were provided. And not to mention, RRQ Hoshi had that Netherrealm from that Faramis. So every single fight here from RRQ Hoshi, they are sure that they can come out alive. Deus Vault had some nice tugs there from Kid Bomba, some setups here from Sawo. There was the Purify, there's the Netherrealm. So there was just so many things that Deus Vault had to consider once they go for the setup plays.
My ground was shaking beneath me. I feel like there's an earthquake going on in Indonesia with how well RQ Hoshi was performing right there.
Tapi
Just some
lebih enak
flawless
BO3 sayang
execution,
daripada
right? If we just
BO1
start
demi
from the
Allah.
very beginning, they were laser focused on every single objective. They took every turtle,
Iyalah.
every lord, rotated around the
BO1
map. Both
pushing.
side laners, Skylar and Banana, their capability on what they provide in the side lanes just as a solo individual is scaling over majority of the teams that they have faced so far in Game of Futures 2024. Deuce Volt needs to find a way to win in the side lanes first if they want to turn this around. We saw Kid Bomba. He lost in the 1v1 matchup up against Banana in like the first minute and 20 seconds. And not just on any hero. This was on a Ruby. That's the most sustainable hero in the XP lane. You definitely have to play it a little bit better if you're going to have a chance to turn this around and even out the series.
Yeah, the thing about that XP lane matchup earlier, yeah, both were really good picks coming out from both RRQ and Deus Vault, right? Like, the thing that Banana actually did there in that early game, he didn't have that Electro Final Blow, and even Kid Bomba does not have the ultimate just yet, but he had that Petrify,
MVP
right? The
siapa
pressure
saya
on the
menurut
XP lane
Ella?
is so heavy right now, which is kind of why you see a lot of these players have actually been prioritizing the XP lane pickups. You see sometimes
Siapa
the
ya?
CC being picked
Banana
up first,
kali?
the Ruby, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Kalau
being
enggak
picked up
Skylar
first, and even the Paquito as well, which
kali.
sometimes is a priority
Kali.
pick for some of the teams, but it goes to show how heavy the impact of the XP laner is right now in the current meta.
Yeah, and we didn't really get to see Kid Bomba really open up these engagements, especially with the Ruby. You have the I'm Offended. Your team's kind of waiting for you to get that initial setup so they can punish. But oftentimes, he wasn't grabbing the right targets, right? We've seen him grab the Mathilda out of everybody. And I mean, that's the last person you want to grab. It's just going to guiding win right out of there or use the circling eagle to safety. And then you don't have the setup potential that Deuce Volt is looking for to be able to fight on these individual objectives. And honestly, just some great execution from the side of RQ Hoshi for game number 1, as we are going to do a blast from the past, a little bit of showcasing on that flawless execution. Irad able to get that turtle, and then the aggressive play, the full sin into the tier 2 turret for the top state. Spatial migration from Sawa takes down Banana, but Octo will find Magister a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, the thing here too about the Deus Vault and RQ Hoshi's team fights here is not only do they have shields, not only do they have the Netherrealm, but Sawo really had a hard time setting up the plays here, right? Like, it was only possibly up to Kid Bomba to make it the place, because look at the spells here for RRQ Hoshi. That's 3 purifies from their side, so you can imagine the frustration too of Sawo. Like, he gets a nice 3-man now,
Mana si Sawo, sir?
you know, having the purify
Oh,
in,
gitu.
there's really nothing much you can do unless you catch them in a position where they don't have it, right? And
Kenapa
even
nggak
up to
pakai
this
3
point,
ya si
like,
Sawo,
you know,
sir?
all of those ultimates being tossed, you're still able to
Ya
escape.
nggak tahu
All
lah
because of
pemilihan
the
tadi
Nether Realm, all
gimana.
because of that guiding wind from the Matilda. And we did
Kali
mention it
aja
was
di
going to be an
ban.
all-out brawl here for both
Iya sih
sides.
tadi
Looking
kita
at their
nggak
team
tahu ya band
composition,
matchnya
this was just
siapa.
screaming team fights after team fights, and RRQ Hoshi definitely did that so well. I have to commend Banana here on the early game. He gave so much space here for Skylar to be able to scale up on his lane, and by the time like Skylar was activated, Deus Vault really didn't have the answers to that. A lot of the zoning has happened here in the Lord Pit. You see how Banana was actually zoning in the back lines for Irad to actually take in the major objective, which is the Lord. A lot of ultimates too have been invested, but at the same time,
Jam
the
berapa?
vision here of Deus Vault was
40.
not enough.
Beda
The sustainability was way too heavy here for
10.000.
them to take, and even with the really good setups, without the follow up, there was
Mantan.
absolutely nothing that they could do. And we did mention a
Sesuai
lot about
prediksi.
Skylar. Actually, this is twice that we've seen the
Kan.
Nathan on the
Soalnya
MVP. Earlier,
damage-nya
we've seen it too
Nggak kebendung
on the
ya.
Burmese schools in the hands of Stitch. This time it's gonna be
mm,
Skylar rocking it in.
kalau enggak si
Able to get
banana tadi.
65 gold and no
Hmm.
shutdowns just yet from Deus Vault here in this entire game.
The man is a problem, and not too many marksmen have been able to go head to head with him. He's been able to kind of gap every marksman he has faced so far. But if the side of RQ Hoshi, if their team was a book, the glue holding the pages together would definitely be Octa, right? He was running on that Faramis, and it wasn't given a lot of credit to him keeping the team alive. He was doing a lot of good things with the Nether Realm, waiting till a couple of the members would get low, and then putting them pretty much back to full HP. And then also
Harusnya
giving
ada
credit to the
foto
rotation
Skylarnya
with
nggak
running that
sih?
Mathilda to
Kayak
also
harus
keep them
kayak
alive
MPL banget
when
ya
things
yang
got a
ya.
little tricky. There was a lot of guiding
Kena,
wind
enggak,
plays
maksudnya
and overall some flawless
kenapa
execution
fotonya
Foto
there
Nathan
from
doang kan?
Brusco. I think the double support meta stacked up with the Barats
I know.
is very hard to deal with, and looks like Deuce Volts just did not have an answer.
Yang
Jumping into the
masukin
next game,
ke ini dong
I mean, I
apa
think me and
squad
you both
Ella.
can agree that we may see that Mathilda banned out.
ah
Yeah, I
Masukin
mean, the first
AA
pick for
ke squad
RQ
Ella
Hoshi,
dong.
definitely they will take in the Matilda, and then you pair it up with a
nanti
Mary.
lah
It's
ngomong
definitely a
dulu sama
combo
orangnya.
that is
Itu emang
super
squad
Aku
siapa
udah
sih?
sustainable to the
lama
point
nggak
that
main.
even with the Blazing Duet
Hah?
here of
Itu
Higo,
squad
there's
siapa
really
emangnya San?
nothing that Deus Bolt can do in all of those clashes. And not to mention,
Squad
by the
ini
time
sih
Skylar was
sebenarnya
activated, it
kenalan
was
gitu,
really
makanya
Oh.
udah
nothing that
lama
they had to think of, right? Skylar had that purified,
diajakin.
Sawo
Hmm.
could take him
Udah.
down.
Oh
Higo
gitu.
also had to take into consideration that Banana was actually trying to take him down too in the back lines, and Sunset Lover too. Even with the
Tadi
vision
Ella
that he
lihat
was
gak yang
providing,
video
RRQ Hoshi just
apa history Magic
stands on
Chess?
top when it comes to those team fights, and it was all because of the double support method that
Mana?
still worked out
Yang
really well.
Magic
And
Chess
at this
itu
point,
apa
the Faramis
history
also
Magic
wanted
Chess?
to be like a magic damage Faramis, right? Getting that cult altar up. And
Enggak lihat.
the thing about it, if I'm the one playing the Faramis, right,
Itu
like
mentok
clicking that
epic
ultimate is
1
gonna be
bintang 2
so
itu saya.
vital. Like you have to know when to click it. You have to know
Pusing.
when to
Aduh,
time
aku
it too, and that's
Soalnya
actually
hero
what
aja
komandernya
udah
Hoshi did so
one
well
saya
here
ngeselin
in this
tau.
match. The timing of the ultimates and the team fights executed so well
iya sih.
all throughout this
Baru
game.
juga itu.
Yeah, and they when it came to the draft, Kid Bamba picked up the Ruby. I really wanted to see the R-Lot walk into that, right? I mean, there was so
Aku
much
aja udah
CC
turun
that he could
dari
have profited
Mythic.
on, especially with the
Legend.
Guinevere and Sunset Lever on that
Iya.
Devaria. That's just like
Boleh dah,
a
Mabar,
well-synergized combo. The Ruby's great too. I do think it can kind of, the Ruby's one of those heroes that can fit in pretty much any
Beli
draft.
gak sih?
But I just feel like the R-Lot could have kind of profited a little bit more.
Ya tahu
We didn't really
ya.
get to
Beli
see
gak sih hero
them
komandernya?
explode
Beli
too
gak
much
sih?
in the side lanes, and
Aku
they
udah beli
lost all
soalnya.
of the objectives in the early phase. RQ
Nggak
Hoshi,
tahu.
eyes on the prize, laser focused, able
Nanti
to
lah.
kind of
Ntar ya
have
habis
that
ini ya.
beehive mentality, right? They're all moving as a unit. One sound beat, able to take
Tapi
every
sembari
single
dicas gak
objective
PL-nya
at a
hari
moment's
ini?
notice. And I think if Deuce Force
Sembari
wants a
nonton
way
ini.
to turn this around, they have to first start off by
Yeah.
being patient inside of the side lanes.
Nah, gitu
You
dong.
cannot overextend. You know Skylar is going to beat you in that gold lane. It's just been proven with how well he's been performing in Game of Futures 2024.
Ella
So
Ella
instead
tahu
of
nggak apa
trying
yang
to
A
test
pikirkan?
out how good Skylar is or how good
Nggak,
Banana
nggak,
is,
nggak,
just
nggak,
play
nggak,
safe
nggak,
and
jangan,
wait
jangan,
for your
jangan,
team to
jangan.
either
Bahaya.
rotate to the side lanes or
Apa
win the
emang?
neutral
Nggak,
objectives. I think
bahaya
that's where
soalnya
you
lagi
can
live.
beat them. If you try and take the 1v1 matchups, it's just been proven RQ Hoshi
Bahaya,
can just
bahaya.
do it a little bit better.
Yeah, the thing too about the lineup here of RQ Hoshi was team fight eccentric. I mean, you have to be grouped up, right? Because you got the Matilda, you got the Faramis. There's really nothing to worry about. Even if you do those turret types that we've seen several times in that game. I mean, I would have been scared to take those turret types, but with the Matilda, with the Faramis, there's really nothing
Burger
much to
King.
fear. And RQ understood that every single team fight, they commit to it and they execute it really well. And for Deus
Ada yang
Vault,
aneh nggak
trying to
sih?
get in those setups, but again, the purified
Yang Iya, yang
such a
sebelah ada
nuisance.
barang, yang
Purify,
sebelah
the nether
kosong
belt,
kan?
and the shields being provided by the enemy
Ya
mid.
kan?
It's way too much to handle there for all of the damage they
Yang satu di blur, yang satu bodo amat kan?
And keep in mind, guys, the winner
Nggak,
of
maksudnya
this series is going to move on to stage 2 of the playoffs.
lucu
Nobody's
aja
getting knocked out
nggak
here.
ada barang
This is
itu.
just a battle of
Kayaknya
placement
dia
in the playoffs. Whoever
mempersiapkan
gets,
untuk
whoever
sunyi.
wins this series will go to stage 1.
Tapi rumah
We've
dia
seen them
Amerika
compete
tuh
first,
udah
which means
kedap
they have
suara
an
sayang.
easier chance of being knocked out because they're not as high on the
Iya,
bracket
maksudnya
as
tuh
whoever wins this
Pede
first
kan?
nggak
match.
tahu.
So
Pede
far,
kan?
RQ Hoshi does have the slightest advantage. They are up 1-0. This is match point.
Kalau
They
Indoma
have a
kan
chance
ada
to get a sweep over
styrofoam
Deuce Foltz,
kan?
but this is Deuce Foltz we're talking about, right? They placed fourth inside
Bener
of
kan?
M5 for
Nah,
a reason, taking out a
dia mah
lot of
pede
enemy
kan?
contenders and taking the world by
Emang
a
that's my
storm.
nigga
We
ya.
just got to find a way for them to get alive in the early game. Honestly, I don't like
Nggak
seeing
boleh
one-sided
gitu.
scores. I want to see this go to game 3. I'd love to
Jujur-jujuran
see
itu maksud itu
matches that
nigga
kind of
itu
keep you at the edge of your seat.
ejekan
And
atau
I think
sebuah
they are a
panggilan
team
sih buat
that
sobat
could
karib sih
potentially
sayang.
do this.
Yeah,
Ya
RQ
itu kalau
Hoshi, Deus
misalkan
Volt, we
apa
are expecting
namanya,
a 2-1 coming out from this
kalau
BO3, right?
misalkan
And Deus Volt was considered one of the dark
kita
horses
panggil
back in
yang orang
M5.
yang
So
udah
I
akrab
think
sih ya
coming
mungkin
in here,
boleh-boleh
it
aja. Tapi
is
kalau
gonna
misalkan
be really interesting
itu
to
nggak
to see
boleh
how Deus
rasis
Volt will
itu.
kind of take this back
Hmm.
to the driver's seat, back to their team. And for RQ Hoshi, right, if they want to take this entire thing, let's see what kind of adjustments that Deus Volt will make
Jadi
ultimately
Niga tuh kalau
in the next
misalnya
game.
kayak
And
kayak
as for
Indoma kan
RQ
kayak
Hoshi, I think
kannya kan
they're that kind of team that just kind of adjust to
Mm.
what the other
kalau
team will bring
misalnya
out here.
iya
And it's
kayak
gonna be crucial
Niga
to
itu
who's
kalau
gonna be on
misalnya
blue side
di
and
Indo
who's gonna
tuh
be on the
kayak
red side.
misalnya
Yeah,
kalau
it's
orang
definitely going to be
asing
crucial.
itu
I want to see
sebutnya
which way it
penghinaan,
goes.
tapi kalau udah
Like I
akrab
said, this match
itu
I
panggilan
anticipated it being the best
sahabat
one
kan
out of
kayak
the
gitu kan.
entire group stage. But honestly, I mean, I really enjoyed the last one with
Iya,
Nico and
kali.
Phoenix just as
Kali.
much. But I want to see Deuce Foltz turn this around. I want to see them be able to have a way to get back into this
Oh
series
iya, Ella,
because
Ella
they
kenapa
are a
gak
heavy
mau
contender and
dibikin
one of the
SW foto
underdogs
Ella di
that I would consider.
SWA?
RQ Hoshi, I guess you could say the same thing because they did not
Nggak
compete in the M
apa-apa.
series, but they are from one of the
Ya harus
best
ada alasan
respective
lah.
regions in Indonesia. So we are going to be going into a brief intermission video
Malu
Ya.
before we
deh.
pan into the next round. So
Kenapa harus
guys,
malu?
Apa?
don't go anywhere, grab some
Malu
popcorn,
biasanya kan
and
alasan
enjoy.
klasik Ella kan.
See you guys in a little bit, but make sure you guys
Gotta catch our
check out the
breaths
next
first.
match.
Ya nggak usah aja.
Alah. Emang
Masih
jarang
gitu.
jarang dibikin SW sayang.
Apa?
Jarang dibikin SW.
What is the scent?
Siapa?
Ya
Do you
lama
feel it?
yang sebelumnya.
What does it smell? This is the smell of the fear, the scent of the battle. I am really scary,
Aduh.
but this is the scent of
Ya
the win
pernah
too.
sih, tapi
You know
ya
why?
emang nggak
You know
biasa
why?
aja.
Because
Nggak
today
sesering
is
aja
the
kan.
group stage, and
Enggak,
let's go
maksudnya
find out
nggak
how it's
biasa
going on.
kayak gitu.
Maksudnya?
Bukan gimana sih maksudnya nggak kayak yang sebelumnya juga aku nggak usah lah gitu.
Kan
Sama
dia nurut
aja.
kan.
With who you gonna play today?
Wait,
Hah?
Tabu.
Enggak ya sama aja.
Strong.
Tapi
Do you
ya
scare
masih
of
lah.
them? You scary?
Ya wes lah
We
berarti.
will try our best to beat them.
Serah upload SW
Да, кто лучше
tentang
заиграет
Ella
в
lah
такие
nggak
игры?
apa-apa.
Ya nggak usah juga.
Enggak ya kenapa nggak usah juga lah. Berarti you are my special.
Ih,
Are you nervous?
iya.
Are you scary?
Ya unik.
Nobody?
Mirip,
Cold yes.
bukannya mirip gak sih?
Can I show? Look at
Enggak lah.
Hehehe.
Is she a hero from the MLBB? No.
My girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? Oh.
Первым лордом забирать.
Tapi aku ada sih satu pemain yang aku senang di
Emang.
itu apa namanya? Bukan di
He's
Onyx.
focused on the game.
Kairi dia.
Костюм.
Bukan.
Husky boy.
Она для чего?
Bukan.
Для
Boots.
подготовки руки.
Это
Oh.
помогает тебе в игре?
Ну, не знаю.
Ну, может.
Partian kami
психологически
dari
разгружать.
tadi ya.
Да. Посмотрите, как у него кресло опущено.
Partian kami
Это для
dari
того, чтобы
tadi.
резко лечь,
Maksudnya?
быстренько поспать и
Iya.
снова в игру.
Ella belum nonton itu. Kami dari tadi mengucapkan.
Oh, udah.
Ya kan partian kami dari tadi kan.
How your day is going on?
We're just watching some games. This is the group that we're playing in. So I think we're getting some ideas from how they're playing. And then, we'll be playing against Homeboys later on in a few minutes, actually.
Homeboys.
So,
Lah, Udil mana
I think
Udil?
we're pretty much set.
Itu kalah saya.
есть такая возможность.
Wah, mau lihat tuh deal.
Kan kemarin kalah ya sayangnya.
Какой бы суперсилу хотел
Nggak
бы
tahu.
играть?
Я гляну героев.
Так, я вижу
Lawan
Пикачу.
AP Brand kemarin.
I just want Link Super Bowl. Link.
Link Super Bowl.
Yeah. Then I want to jump every wall.
Jump everywhere. So you can hide and seek some girls.
Of course.
Thing like Paquito.
Paquito.
He can punch everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So you wanna punch everyone?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm scared of you.
Я бы хотел телепортацию.
Телепортацию?
Да.
Probably teleporting because I really miss my girlfriend.
Тоже телепортация.
Может быть, летать? Ты бы ограбил банк?
Нет, зачем мне эти банки? Я бы не летал на этих самолетах по 2 часов.
Нет,
Нет, да?
телепортация сильнее.
You telling me that you are missing your girlfriend because we are filming? Because she can
I actually do. But if I find this video anywhere, I'll probably send her.
А вот это вообще...
Lagunya nggak ini ya, nggak kayak alay-alay di mobile apa MPL atau nggak
Ну
M5
что
ya.
ж, дорогие друзья, мы с вами все наблюдали за групповыми этапами.
Ya,
Было
lain lah
хайпово,
ya, yang
было тепло,
megangan.
было очень круто. Ну, а результаты вы сами все можете увидеть на своих экранах.
Oh iya, Homeboys tuh. Team Future.
And we are back. Welcome back to Group A Round 2 after that amazing intermission video. Now, let's just kind of talk about what we've seen so far. We're currently on the winners match for Group Stage A. We got to see RQ Hoshi go up against Deuce Volts for round 1. And man, was it a show. RQ Hoshi completely dominated, more of a one-sided match, able to take control in the side lanes. Banana and Skylar paving the way for Indonesia so far.
Yeah. RQ Hoshi right now, they're looking to take in the game
Wah,
2
nih.
because they're already at a match point up against Deus Vault. But yeah, the thing here is Deus Vault is
Wis
going to have
GG
that
sih.
first pick. Matilda might actually right on cue. Matilda will be banned out. Just yeah.
Nolan
Here's
di
the thing about the
ban.
players. Like before I even say it, they actually do it. It seems to be a thing.
Oh, bandnya
Even
5
with
ya?
my cast
Kirain
in private
10.
yesterday, we were just talking about the
Kan di
Nala,
total
and then it
10
pops
ya.
into the draft. Deus Vault, this is understandable. This is one of their top
Kan
band
di
heroes
total
too.
10
And
saya.
I think he wouldn't want to give that advantage to Irad that can
Enggak,
really
yang
rock those
band-bandan
early game heroes, those burst types, those glass cannon types of heroes. So Nolan is not really seen so
enggak ya?
much currently in the meta, but it's still, I would say, a choice that you can pick up if you want to go for that early game snowball. RQ Hoshi definitely has that potential. Right now, we're looking at the bans on a Guinevere, or perhaps maybe even someone wants to take out the Ruby, but it is the most picked, right? So someone either going to take or ban it. But as of the moment, right, there's so many things that you can still take out. The Fanny being respected here too. Deus Vault just locking in their target right now, and it seems to be Urad as of the moment.
And the way this is looking, I mean, usually with RQ Hoshi having second pick, I think they're going to try and get the CC. I don't see them banning it out. I think they're going to try and bait Deuce Volt. I don't think they're going to expect Deuce Volts to pick it up. So I think they'll try and get the CC here. And then maybe since they don't have the Mathilda, go for like some single target CC. It seems like that's their plan. Grab the CC and then go for like a Kaja. Or we've seen them run the Cho before too in this type of situation, the way the draft played out. And they may actually be able to pull it off. I wonder if these Volts will pick up the CC if it is available. That has been one of those heroes everybody was wondering, is it meta? Is it not? But after seeing Game of Futures in day one, I can definitely tell you it is. As you are going to go ahead and see the R-Lot taken off the table from the side of RRQ Hoshi. One more ban on the way before we have our first pick. Now, Guinevere is still an available option. We've been seeing a lot of teams first pick the Ruby.
Duh, siapa yang tongkat itu ya sayangnya?
Has been first picked a lot too. I mean, these are all some strong pickups, but if it comes down
Itu
to
yang sebelahnya
one to
Matilda.
bet, RQ Hoshi picks up the CC.
Arlat ya.
Yeah, even the R-Lot here that is a rising pick for all of the teams here. It has great CC. It can be on the XP. Pretty much a very flexible pick. They take away the Joy 2 that is pretty much like the Nolan. Once it gets scaled up in the early game, it is going to be really an unstoppable force. And if you don't have those suppression, you can't really deal with that. Right now, Deus Vault, they can pick up the Guinevere. They can pick up the Ruby, these CC heavy heroes for their first pick. The Matilda's already out, so maybe they can go with the safe pick, or maybe even pick up the Barretts for themselves, right?
Guinevere probably, because they ran Guinevere twice yesterday up against Burmese schools. When they had the option for first pick, they definitely slotted it in. So they may actually run that. No, they actually might get CC too, though. There may be a chance that they get CC. One of these teams is going to get it. if they let RQ Hoshi get it, it's
Soalnya
definitely gonna be
tampilannya
a
kayak
problem.
tampilan Dota, saya.
Especially stacked up, like I said, with that Kaja. But Deuce Volts kind of plays similar
Bener
to them.
kan?
I wonder if they go for that, though. Or, I mean, you could go for the Barats, like we mentioned. It's been such a strong pickup. Pair it with a
Kayak
support.
nggak
I
ada
mean, the Faramis
tandanya
is on the
gitu
table. You
siapa
still got a
pick
Rafaela. But no, they're going to go in for the Ruby.
Ruby
This is a little bit
lagi.
of a shocker. So we got to have to see how RQ Hoshi responds.
Yeah, the Benedetta ban
Apakah
coming
mau
through too for Deus Bolt that really made it hard, right? Earlier for Kid Bomba, and the Benedetta is just so mobile. And then you paired it up with the Matilda in the first game. All two of those heroes are out. Now RQ Hoshi can still go for. I was thinking of like
Wah,
a Barrett's, but right now you did mention a lot of the CC,
Cici.
the Guinevere too that
Nah,
could have been picked
Cici
up by Deus
Gwyn.
Bolt, and RQ Hoshi just got these two
Yang
very
pakai kit
stacked
bomba
picks
kan?
up for themselves. Setup plays. CC, I think at a
Oh,
point I'm
bukan.
getting so confused right now. Are we talking about crowd
Itu
control? Are we
RRQ
talking about
ya
the hero
kawan.
CC?
Ah,
Because
Yeah, you're
it
right.
seems to
Maaf,
be
sayang.
all about these
Maaf.
things, right? The crowd control, CC, team fights. I think this is what I see for both sides. They want to have these team fights, and Deus Bolt right now they might want to consider going for the Novaria. That seems to be a pickup here that Sunset Lover really loves to go for.
Now, I'm curious if RQ Hoshi will go in for the Faramis here. I mean, it would provide a lot of sustainability for their team to keep them alive. I think it would be a strong pickup. And then maybe later in the draft, they pick up a single target CC like a Kaja or a Cho
Wah,
because
dipakai
they already have some
Novarianya.
major things checked off the board. They have great crowd control from CC and also Guinevere already, and
Masih
disengage and
maksa
disengage
ya
from both
game
of these
tadi ya.
heroes.
Oh, bedanya
So
ini
if they
pakai
add
ini
a
nih.
Faramis to the table, they can keep their team alive. And then you stack that up with some
Minotaur.
single target CC like some suppression from the Kaja. And that's a really well calculated draft, I would say, for RQ Hoshi if they do pull that off. But they may force out the Diggy pickup though, as they are going to go ahead
Yeah,
and pick
I
up
Bisa
was
aja
gonna
di
say that.
purify
Minotaur.
lagi.
That's a
Kenapa
smart
sih?
decision because, like I said,
Ya,
I would see
maksudnya
them
bisa aja
picking
di
up that suppression if they
purify
did it.
lagi.
But I wonder if RQ Hoshi is
Bawahnya
even worried about it or
nih,
not. Will they go in for the Diggy? It
Bentar
seems
ya,
like
Jas.
Deuce Volt is trying to bait them into doing this, especially picking that up when they still have another pick before the
Bentar ya,
ban
mau ngangkat
starts.
pasir dulu dari
And
atas.
is it worth going for? I feel like they could do it though because they have the Guinevere with the CC, but no, they're going to go in for their mage pickup instead. They see the frontline composition forming, right? You have the Minotaur and you have the Ruby, and what better way to burst them down than to getting Gloom with this Lilia, one of the best early game mages available.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the range, you definitely have to give it to the Novaria, but for the Lilia, it can clear out the waves so fast. I like that this is going to be the answer to these heroes that are pretty much melee, right? Like the Minotaur, the Ruby. It also has a black shoes if you want to escape death, so you can kind of have that second chance. And then for RQ Hoshi, yeah, they can pick up the Diggy here. They can totally do that, but is the Guinevere gonna be in the XP lane, or is it gonna be in the jungler role, or is the CC gonna be in the jungler role, or is it gonna be in the XP lane? That's gonna be a big thing that they have to consider too, like the overall picture of their lineup. They take away some of the gold laners here. Both sides still don't have any gold laners just yet, so they take away the Iksha. That is also really good, right? Like you got these heavy frontline composition, then you pair with the Iksha. That is a lot of range, like the Novaria and then the Iksha. It's gonna be so good in team fights. So I like this ban coming out from RQ.
You know, and it's funny too because normally you would see teams pick up the Diggy to respond back to that in that position, but it just shows you how comfortable and confident RQ Hoshi is not to go for that direct counter, but to try and work through a Minoan Fury. Now they do have engage and disengage. I guess technically you have, if you run the Purify on the Lilia and you use the black shoes, then you can pretty much go back to safety with no problem. And the Guinevere, again, the spatial migration, she can get away just in time before that Minoan Fury drops to get out. And then, you know, CC is one of the most mobile XP laners so far. So all of them, good answers in terms of disengaging from these sticky crowd control situations. But there's a lot of openness for these fights, a lot of set potential so far for Deuce Volts. They have the Ruby to be able to go in with the I'm Offended, and also a lot of sustainability from the Ruby. And then you have the Minotaur who can keep everybody alive, continuously healing them, and also providing that knockup with the Minoan Fury. And then to top it off, Sunset Lover, this is becoming a repetitive pattern. He really loves playing the backline mage. Like he likes that can fight from afar, use the Astro Echo, provide even more slow, and deal some massive damage to the team. Now the Arlot is banned out. I would have loved to see the Arlot on the Deuce combination here. I think it would have been great, but they already have the Ruby anyway.
Buat
so
incar
really
si
so
Cici
I would say there's just a lot of crowd control. We need more damage though. We need to see some massive damage from the side of Deuce Volts. I would say in the early game and kind of late game, technically.
A late game,
uh,
Claude. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Claude will be either picked up here by RRQ Hoshi, but looking at Deus Volt
Fredrin
here, like both
di-ban.
haven't picked up their gold laners. They take away the Fredrin too because they're
Carry.
anticipating that they haven't. This might actually just be an XP lane CC, and then you got the Guinevere on the roam position. They might go for the Barretts. I'm not so sure this time. It can still pretty much be a pickup here for Irad, or maybe you can go for something surprising, like maybe an assassin here. But you know, in a CC heavy type of composition, it wouldn't really be good to pick that up. Deus Volt still needs their gold lane. I think the Claude might be picked up here by Deus Volt once again. I mean, it's mobile. It's really good when it comes to the laning phase, right? It's PMI can escape any clash, and Deus Volt here has a very good setup plays. Ruby, they got the Minotaur too, and now Irad. What's it gonna be for them? Deus Volt is really taking their time to pick up their heroes here. Maybe pick up a Barretts here for this side, but they gotta carry for the side of RRQ Hoshi, so it's not gonna be easy. But I guess, you know, they want that heavy front line so that their backliners like, you know, Sunset Lover, Hiko can shine here. So insane amount of burst here from the Claw.
Kenapa harus
And then
Minotaur
the
ya?
vision from the
Kenapa nggak
Luvaria.
Rafaela?
I like this lineup coming out from Deus Volt, but RQ Hoshi has the answers to
Terlalu
that. The
tipis
carry,
Rafaela
the
tuh.
early game too with the
Dijadiin
Guinevere and the
segitan lah
Lilia.
saya.
And they stole the Barats.
Ya,
You know,
kan
I
ada
would have thought the
Cici,
Barats, like you said, would have been a good pickup for
Cici.
RQ Hoshi, but they're going to go in for the Dairoth
Iya
instead.
juga sih.
Bisa dia.
I mean, it's some great burst potential, especially up against a
Bisa
beefier
pakai.
composition. There's a lot of frontline composition for Deuce Volts. The Ruby, the Barats, the Minotaur, all of them able to provide that frontline presence. But the Dairoth, he loves taking it up
Kalau
close and
misalkan
personal. And I
di
think it's a
kombonya
really
keren
good
sih kalau
decision
misalkan
from the side of
di
RQ Hoshi
Binari
if they can execute it. But
Mhm.
speaking of execution, guys, we are inside of Group A round
Jadi kayak
2
senjata makan
in
tuan
the
gak sih
winners match.
jatuhnya?
Currently looking at Deuce Volt up against RQ
Ya
Hoshi. This
tergantung.
is a possible
Ada
game
di
set
Pegang
2-0
Fury
sweep
ya.
in the making for RQ Hoshi if they play their cards right, and we'll be able to move on to stage 2 in the playoffs. Or will we see Deuce Volts take the world by surprise again? The Rising Stars from M5, placed in 4th place, taken down by Blacklist, able to even out this series 1-1 as we go through the tunnels of the virtual arena into the land of dawn. We go. Which way will this play out? Who will claim victorious?
Yeah, I wish we had that virtual tunnel so we can go straight into the land of dawn. I mean, this is RRQ Hoshi on a match point right now.
Pagi.
Deus Volt right now. The
Kenapa
thing
sih?
with their lineup is it's good that they have this heavy front line. And it's gonna be up to the Banana here and even possibly Brusco here to pick off Sunset Lover and Hiko. And just as I was saying that, there's the Purifies coming out from Sunset Lover and Hiko just to make sure that they don't get caught up in the setups here by Brusco. And even to a point, the zoning here from Banana will be a problem here. So for RQ Hoshi, their winning condition here is to take down the back lines once this scales up. But as for Deus Volt, they have this good early game too that can go at par with RQ Hoshi right now. We don't have first blood just yet, but all these players have been poking at each other. Brusco as well, giving the vision to RQ Hoshi. But here comes Magistar though. Nice knock up, nice take in, and that's gonna be the first blood being picked up by Deus Volt.
A good start for them as well, playing patient and waiting for the opportunity. But now Irad rushing in to the 3-man team of Deuce Volt, but Octa from afar trying to use the power of Gloom. Does not have level 4. He does not have the black shoes. Needs to be careful. Neither side will fall in that engagement. Deuce Volt, though, like you said, claiming first blood. As we are looking at a couple of the emblems on the way as well. It's interesting enough. There's 2 concussive blasts and then also 1 brave smite for the side of Deuce Volt. So they're playing very sustainable and frontline oriented. And then you can say the same thing for RQ Hoshi, except it's a little bit of a flip as there's 2 brave smites and 1 concussive blast for their side, but still a strong frontline presence, which means when it comes to these 5v5 engagements, there's going to be some up close and personal fights.
Wow, Skylar is doing a really good job poking at Hiko here, making sure that he stays under their turret. And now we're going to be seeing a team fight coming in here.
Hello.
Banana gonna be forced to use in that vengeance. Turtle at half HP, made at 1/4. There goes Brusco with the setup. It's gonna be Irad picking her onto 2, but every
Yang dapat siapa?
all of that. But
Brusco.
Brusco says no. It is gonna be just a projection of him. So much pressure from the side of RRQ Hosha. Bombia gonna be able to tank this one up. He's able to sustain, but not for long as as RRQ Hoshi gonna be able to pick off Kid Bomba, but for the price of Irad.
Well, I mean, I feel like they kind of won that trade though, because they
Pintar
got
sih,
2 kills
cuman
for
salah
1
opsi
with
aja
the
ini.
full
Nah, mundur.
extension of RQ Hoshi really trying to go in for Kid Bomba. I don't really feel like that worked out in their favor like they planned it to. Oh my goodness! Hiko able to take down Skylar, but Sunset Lover, a sniper in the making with this Navaria.
This is exactly why you need to take it down. You need to take down Sunset Lover, and that's the thing. This is the mission for Brusco and Banana and even Irad here to take down the back lines. And so far, Deusvolt has been keeping up here with RRQ Hoshi. And there goes the setup here for Brusco. Hiko did not pop in that Purify, just knowing that Sao is in the vicinity. Getting that nice knock-up. The snipes coming out from the backside from Sunset Lover. Chucks Brusco to 1 HP, forced to back away 30 seconds before the next turtle is up. And so far, Deusvolt is actually looking pretty good here in the gold lane.
Everybody from Deusvolt, except for Kid Bomba so far, getting a piece of the pie. They all have 1 kill. Spread across the board so far, 4-2, leading by 2 kills overall, but only down by 400 gold. RQ Hoshi still maintaining the gold despite the kill difference, as they were able to take that turtle in that first engagement. Now, Hiko was able to get the first kill over onto Skylar. Normally you see Skylar have the advantage in the gold lane compared to most marksmans, and I would say Deusvolt is up to a good start. Now, the question is, can they maintain their slight lead, or do we see RQ Hoshi take this turtle yet again and be able to gain control of the early phase?
Yep, you just called it. RRQ Hoshi, just like that, takes it in with the retribution. I do like the vision being provided here by Sunset Lover, but the way that RRQ Hoshi contained that turtle pit, they aren't able to get in. Like, Brusco was there just waiting in for the setup. Like, even the members here, these the tankiest members, are gonna have second thoughts before they try to get it in. Here comes Magister with the engage. It's gonna be the nice Mino's viewer on three. That's gonna be Brusco. Irad checking up all of the damage. He's gonna be forced out, but gets stuck in there by Magister. That's gonna be Deusvolt taking down Irad once again. Trade-offs there, but it's
Lepas barat udah musibah aja
by a 400.
sama Minotaur.
Let's take a look at that instant replay here.
Yeah, putting RQ Hoshi on a trampoline with that Minoan Fury triple knockup, sending them straight to the moon. 5-2 so far, first 5 minutes, and RQ Hoshi able to take both turtles, but falling short on these kills. They are still ahead of gold though, making up the advantage from having these neutral objectives is keeping them in this game and in a slight lead. Hiko off to a good start. Like we said, able to get a kill onto Skylar, may delay the late game for carry. Looking at Irad, not off to the best start either. 1-2-1, already finding 2 deaths so far.
Yes.
Magister, 2-1 so far on the scoreboard. Highest kills in the game overall. And really outscaling so far inside of the jungle.
Yeah, Banana's just like diving right in with his yo-yo. Even on the bottom side, that's gonna be a lot of pressure. Back she's being blocked here by Orca. Sky's just me chalking down that tower onto the bottom side, able to take it in, but it's still alive with 1 HP. As RRQ creating in that pressure on the bottom side, understanding that there's gonna be that power spike too from Hiko, right? And if they don't, they kind of leave him unchecked. He's going to be able to wreak havoc here up against RRQ once it comes to the late game.
Yeah, and now the next turtle does spawn in. This will be the 3rd one of the game. Both so far have gone to RQ Hoshi. Is the 3rd time the charm for Deusvolt, or will they let another one slip through their fingers? As you already seen RQ Hoshi in a great position for the contest. Brusco waiting to hit that spatial migration. You can just feel him itching for the setup. Astro Echo connects though. Set over there from Sunset Lover from afar.
Yo, Banana here. You know when that CC is
Ada
just
ayahnya
using that, yo, he looks so innocent, right? Look at the damage it's causing. Even up against Sao. And right now, Banana, Brusco goes in with the dive, gets in with Bomba. And that's gonna be RRQ. 2 kills for the price of none. Hiko who's in that cleansing duet. Not able to take anything in as Irad.
Ada kok mas, cuma nggak mau on-cam aja.
Hoshi gonna be able to take the prime position once again.
Soalnya malu-malu kucing. Ntar nanti on cam kalau udah sah ya.
Taking in objectives after objectives.
Amin.
Cannot take anything in 2K lead. Now making that a 3K lead up against Deusvolt.
Yeah, and keeping him in the game and also putting Skylar ahead in gold, now above Hiko by 1,000.
Deskripsinya gamenya
Even though
LOL,
he
Pak.
took a death over
Ayo.
him in the early phase, but now with the scoreboard equalized and the economy leading into the favor of RQ Hoshi, they may be able to open up this map.
Emang
more in
iya
their favor.
LOL,
Sunset
di sini
Turret
nggak ada
on the bottom
nggak
side.
ada LOL sih, Mas.
Kibamba very low. Sawo with the knock up the Minoan Fury. Two-man set onto RQ Hoshi. Skylar will take him down though. Magister is connected. Dennis welcome. Finds Brusco. Blazing duet from Hiko.
Sorry ya, kalau lagi ya, Mas.
Skylar may be able to get him.
Nikmatin aja
Does get
proses.
the kill. Deuce Foltz claiming the lead 7-6 in terms of
Ooh,
kills, but
slow
still
dah.
down by gold. Sunset
udah.
Lover,
Adios.
gonna connect with Astro Echo. I'm offended. Connect.
Yeah,
Here
yeah,
Oh, Bamba
Dikit
on the
lagi.
chase. Banana
Ah.
taking him down. Hiko very low. Vintage proc by Banana. Sunset Lover will find Irad. You're gonna see Banana able to get out of there as well.
Sorry ya,
Providing a
Mas,
lot
kalau
of
nge-lag ya.
presence with this CC, a major annoyance
Emang
so
iya
far,
deskripsinya,
harassing Deuceful.
Yeah, see, this Banana hasn't left the jungle side here. Deus Ball just making sure that Magister and Sawo are contained while the rest of RRQ has been just working in those towers after towers. 2 towers taken in by the side of RRQ Hoshi. Even though latest Hoshi has more here, is gonna be the turret takes. And this is the same thing that they had. Turrets objective gaming is gonna be the thing here.
Kayaknya ini mah RRQ nunggu ini ya, yang ya. Apa, nyari mistake si Desfall kan?
With Deus Bolt having a harder time to contest up against this. What can you say about the items here though? But speaking of the items, Kid Bomba though, gotta be getting it from Brusco here, as it's gonna be a 2v1 situation with Kid Bomba unable to do anything at that point.
Yeah, and speaking of the items, Skylar will pick up that Demon Hunter sword. Will be able to soak into that Barats with that high HP pool. He does have the corrosion sight, and on top of that, the golden staff. A lot of core items working in his favor as he takes the tier 2 turret on the top side.
Kata ke sih?
Set up there by Sabo.
Gagal.
Kata ke sih, harusnya maju itu.
Astral Echo from the backside. Sao's gonna get chased here by Banana and Irad. I can't believe that the CC is causing that much damage.
Kan
Forcing the
Mino kan
rest
bisa
of the members
healing.
here, Deus Bolt to actually back away. Not only that, the glooms coming out from Octa is starting to hurt a lot too. They taken the mid tower right before this first
sih,
lord, and
gas.
RRQ Hoshi is gonna look to take this. Is looking to take this lord in. With Deus Bolt actually backing it away. Brusco finds another setup here onto Kid Bomba. Irad working up on that lord, and just like that, the leader from the map, Kid Bomba, gonna get taken out as Deus Bolt not even able to get near the lord, as RRQ Hoshi will be taking in this first lord of the game.
Taken every single neutral objective so far, haven't lost a single turret, and now leading by 1 kill and also up 4,000 gold. RRQ looking stronger than ever, holding that flag for Indonesia. Deuce Volts now forced on the back end, needs to have a counter response to be able to turn this game back around into their favor. Hiko on a one-on-one up against Banana. Sawa joining the party, wants a piece of it, wants to make a banana split. But you are going to see a little bit of split on the map. Deuce Volts taking it in the mid lane up against RRQ.
Gas nih, digas.
Space migration, not going to be able to connect. Sunset Lover does hit though with the Astro Echo and the snipe from the Astro Meteor. Man, some heavy presence as we are seeing the Lord on the top side make his way to the
Dikit lagi
base
tuh
of
mati
Deuce
tuh.
Yeah, no, Sunset Lover here hasn't been picked off just yet, standing at a 204. So RQ Hoshi has to kind of respect that too. Like every single time they go for a clash, he got that Astral Echo, and by the time that Sunset Lover will be able to pick in either a Divine Glaive or even those magic damage penetration items, it's gonna be really hard, right? RQ Hoshi looking to take in the Lord. As long as they can take it, as long as they can take all these major objectives, they should be able to pressure out the lanes here of Day Small. Map control totally for the side of RQ Hoshi. 6 turrets, and all the lords, all of the turtles went to the side of RRQ Hoshi. 37k lead for them, as Deus Bolt is holding on for their dear lives to extend this to a game number 3.
Yeah, and there's a lot of insurance for the side of RQ Hoshi, right? You mentioned map control and their turrets. I mean, they have every single turret still standing, and we are 12 minutes in. Deuce Volt's not able to execute into their game plan jumping into this match. But hey, they may be able to turn it around if they play a little bit passively. They're definitely gonna have to play for the late game.
Kayaknya menang
They can't really continue to
RRQ lagi ya
contest.
yang.
I mean, the gold is just way out there now, up by 5,000 for the side of RQ Hoshi as you're looking at some of those items on the board. But they are going to take the fight. Brusco not going to connect with the spatial migration, decides to disengage. We are going to see this Lord spawning in the next 40 seconds. Sunset Lover with the Astro Echo connects to Octa, and will hit Banana. But do they take the fight? Hiko does. Rushes in, chips a little bit of damage on a Banana, though. He's not worried about it. This man's just rotating around with CC with ease.
Yeah. It's a 10k for Skylar in comparison to
gosh.
Hiko, actually. Yeah, Hiko only has like less than 10,000 here, so
Push
that
gak sih?
itself, Skylar has managed to pick up all the
Push
items that
bawah.
you need. And you mentioned late game. This is definitely gonna go to the carry, right? All these tanky heroes can be melted down, not unless you get that two-man setup, the chain CC combination from either Sawo and Kid Bomba here. RQ Hoshi wasting no time, knowing that, respecting the fact too that they have the late game heroes here for the side of Deus Vault. They're knocking up this Lord, 1/4 HP already. For the side of Deus Vault, they're waiting for the proper time to come in, but they aren't able to get in. They're waiting for some type of play.
Ooh.
Astral Echo, but that's gonna be RQ Hoshi getting in that Lord for free, and Deus Vault just gonna be letting that one slide this time. 43k gold for the side of RQ, as Deus Vault just struggling to even contain their lanes as of this point.
I don't know how many more punches Deus Volt's going to be able to take. Is RQ Hoshi very aggressive and winning every single trade. I don't think they've lost a single trade so far. Looking at Kid Bomb, it's the second time he's picked up
Push
this
kiri nggak
movie.
sih?
The last time it wasn't as effective,
Kanan,
and it's
kanan.
looking like a repetitive pattern. I mean, he's 0-5-5, highest deaths on this game so far, and hasn't really been able to provide a crucial set with the I'm Offended that Deus Volt is kind of relying on, as we are now going to see the Lord make his way down the mid lane.
Yeah, here it is. RQ Hoshi knocking in the doors. Brusco once again, but it's set up
mati
onto
lagi,
Magister,
damn.
and Scarlet's gonna pick up the kill. Lords is knocking in the base of Deus Vault, as Scarlet's gonna be chunking in that tower really fast. Inhibitors are gonna be going down here as RQ Hoshi just wasting no time, creating all the pressure on all of the lanes here. Man, this is gonna be really hard. Brusco just setting up the place here for their damage dealers to be able to do the thing. And now here comes Sawo.
Ih,
The
nggak pakai
setup
flicker.
and the flickers out and the purifies is gonna nullify all of that, as
Alah.
RQ Hoshi gonna
Alah.
still be pressuring in all
Huh,
of the
focus.
lanes as Deus Vault
Sunset Lover,
unable to
though.
do anything at this point. Hiko goes in
Ooh,
for the
Blazing Duet.
Blazing Duet from the backside. Banana gonna be able to soak that up, but Sunset Lover with that snipe kill, able to pick off one, and now Brusco in trouble too. Jumps right
Brusco!
out, 1/2 HP, as
Alah.
Kid Bomba goes in for the flicker.
kira saya
Brusco
dipanggil
goes
ibu.
down, and that's gonna be it. Deus Vault claps back against RQ.
A big turnaround, miscalculation from the side of RRQ Hoshi.
Tuh kan,
And
blunder.
it may cost them some
Mulai
grounding
panik.
on the land of Dawn, as Deus Volt's now in control. Will they be able to claim some of these turrets and push to their base? It looks like they are going for it
Ooh.
down the mid lane. Astro Echo does connect for the slow on a Banana, on to Octa. Sunset Lover will be able to take the tier 1 turret.
Wow, this is a 4-man rotation coming in from Deus Vault. 2 turns just like that. Hiko gonna be taking in a lot of the damage coming out from Octa. And that is gonna be RQ Hoshi picking up another kill. Turrets are going down one by one. The turret's also exposed here from the side of Deus Vault. They don't have that inhibitor onto the top side. 30 seconds in. This should be RQ Hoshi still getting in that prime position for the Lord. They have to watch out for the snipes here coming out from Sunset Lover. 305. He hasn't been shut down just yet.
I love how Banana just walked down the mid lane, and the entire team of Deus Volt said, "Oh, I don't want no parts of that. We're just going to go all the way back to the base." And away they went, as now they're back on the defensive stance. That slight advantage that they had now turned back around against them. Banana picking up the immortality. Brusco having it as well. A little bit of a extra blanket of security as they are getting ready to take this Lord.
Yeah, look at how fast Skylar's chucking in that Lord. They should be able to take this one. Not unless it'll be a
ambil.
steal. They're way too
Kayaknya
far.
udah mau
As
atau
RQ
ini nggak sih yang
Hoshi
Magic
gonna be
Chess nggak sih
sealing
ya?
the deal once again, taking in the second Luminous Lord of this game.
Elah.
Yeah, able to claim that Lord, which will put him in a great advantage to
Tapi
possibly be
jujur
able to close this out. RQ
Magic Chess nggak
Hoshi,
sih?
one step away from making it to stage 2 in the playoffs. Deus Volt needs to find a way
Ini
to
mah
contest.
udah
Can they
feeling, ini mah
stop
udah
this
menang
Luminous
hati
Lord
kok.
in the full
Magic Chess yuk.
5-man team of Viva RRQ? Look at Banana,
Scam aja.
already ready, trying to
Mau
bait out
tidur.
some of that utility before the Lord makes his way into the base.
Segame.
Iya mau
Brusco again with
tidur.
the setup. He finds one. He
Iya,
finds Hiko.
segame.
Not gonna be able to pop
Jadi,
in that
oke,
purify just to save it
ini
in
segame
for
aja.
something else. But right now, Astral Echo's gonna connect Lord is
Nanti
going to be
habis
marching
ini.
in the base. They should be able
Ah
to
juga
chunk
nanti
this down, but
habis
lots of
game
pressure
itu
coming in
mau
from the
ini
side
kok
of Deus
belajar
Bolt.
lagi
They're
kok.
tanking up all the bursts coming out from Hiko and even Sunset Lover, but the base is exposed. They only have one inhibitor left here, and RRQ Hoshi's going to be backing away, respecting the damage coming out from Deus Bolt too.
Yeah, but you are seeing Deus Bolt starting to be able to defend
Hmm.
very well. I mean, RQ Hoshi is down to 2 of their inhibitors for the mid and bottom side. And now this is officially the late game, meaning it's going to boil down to who can execute a little bit better. And now you're starting to see Deus Bolt ready to take the fight over to RRQ Hoshi. They're not playing defensive anymore. It's time to play ball.
Look at the
Octa
damage.
forced to use the black shoes. You already see Astro Echo connect to 3 members. That is going to be Irad,
Sakit
Octa,
banget
and Brusco with a little bit of that slow.
Lilia aja
Baba
sakit.
rushing in.
Mulai
Needs to
bingung
get
nih,
a
mulai
good
bingung nih
eye
mau
on
kill
Needs to get
siapa
the
ini.
set Desvolt is looking for, but Brusco
Wow.
Mulai bingung nih.
in with the violent requiem, able to get out 50% HP. There
Oh,
goes
that's
Magister.
Bingung mulai.
Connects to the wall
Mulai
for the
pecah
stun.
warnya.
He went from Hiko into
Terus.
backline.
Terus.
Almost takes out
Paksa.
Brusco, still alive. Irad very low. Magister needing to get back. Vengeance proc by Banana.
Oh, look at
Finding
Banana.
the lane. It's
Pecah tuh
between
Immortal.
Deus Bolts. Immortality's been proc.
Set.
Octa in the mid lane fights Kid Baba. Hiko finds Banana. Sunset Lover with the Astro Echo does connect, and that'll be a 1-for-1 trade for both sides, but they are not done. Trying to close the distance on Brusco, forcing out the spatial migration.
It is a 5k gold lead still in favor of RRQ Hoshi. The XP laner for the XP laner. The shutdown is going to be a big thing here for Deus Bolt. The shutdown gold going to go towards their side. Looking at the items here again, this is the point of the game. 19 minutes in, you got those immortalities up. It's going to be really hard to get that pick off. Not to mention the purifies here that Brusco has been doing up against either Sunset Lover or Hiko. Sunset Lover has picked up that Blood Wings too, adding up to the shield and the magic damage it can provide for the team. Low kill scores count actually for both sides, so it is going to be a matter of execution here once it reaches this mid to late game. And RQ Hoshi just going to be positioning themselves here in the Lord Pit, making sure that they take it in before Deus Bolt. Astral Echo has been committed tier 2, and RQ Hoshi not going to commit anything just yet.
And this is the chance they were looking for this entire game. Deus Bolt may have a shot.
50-50 lagi ini.
50-50 lagi. Enggak, kalau misalnya banananya pintar nge-cutting lainnya bisa sih. Karena ngeraki.
You are seeing Irad already pulling the aggro, trying to force the side of Deus Bolt to engage. They are playing passive. They are waiting. Both sides looking for a mistake to happen, looking for an
benar.
from
Oh.
Makan tuh.
Hilang.
Migration. Brusco connected for the knockup, but
Hilang.
catches
Gagal
Sabo.
tadi si
Didn't get what he was looking for. Will disengage. Lord,
Maksa dia, maksa.
50% HP. Debu now
Gas,
having
gas, gas.
right on it. Big stun on a
no.
Brusco. Immortality being proc.
Salah.
There for the red tree. Sunset Lover.
The Tonas
Will get a kill. Master is gonna claim it.
Aduh, nge-cutting pintar dia.
Down Skylar. Irad. Immortality being proc alongside Hiko side by side. But Hiko gets the double. Finds the
Ya
kill.
nggak ada yang ini.
12 on the scoreboard.
Nggak ada yang
And Food has
nge-push.
done it. They have turned this game around. RRQ Hoshi
tengah
on
ini mah
the
udah.
defense.
Let's take a look at that instant replay. What just went down? Brusco was punished there. Magister landing in that nice Detona's welcome onto Irad before he could actually pop in that retribution. The burst is just too much here. And now Deus Bolt, the timers are ticking. It's down to Banana to defend this one. As Deus Bolt, they're looking to end this. The turn takes around to take us to a game number 3. They're not.
Nggak jadi, ini mah nggak jadi.
Steph, they're knocking, and they want us to defend SR. Deus Bolt gonna be taking in
Ya.
game number 2.
Ya,
We're
nggak
gonna
jadi
be
ya,
heading
sudah.
towards a game
Nobar,
number 3.
nobar.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series.
That's
Lama
right. You
banget.
are seeing this food knocking on the doors for RRQ, letting them know, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a game number 3. An epic turnaround, a comeback from Deus Bolt, able to take that Lord last second. Everybody fighting down to the wire. Immortalities being proc side by side, double kills, you name it, it was there. But Deus Bolt come into play and it gave him a hard time at the very end. And now the series is evened out. Our official first game 3 in Group Stage A, and better yet, for the winners match to determine who will be moving on to Stage 2 of the playoffs for the Game of Futures 2024.
Yeah, RRQ Hoshi right now. I did say it's gonna be a 2-1, right? I just did say who's gonna win the series because we're gonna find out actually, once we head into game number 3,
Ya, satu sama.
and to think that
Tapi
also
dua
to
kosong.
RQ, right? The map control, the turtles, all those objectives they've taken
Dua
in,
kosong,
but it
guys.
actually kind of bounced back to the side of Deus
Aduh,
Bolt once it reached that
tandingan
late
warkop
game already.
guys,
That
guys.
one turnaround, that one
Buset.
that can actually turn the tides around on the game. I've seen it yesterday in
Bisa-bisanya
SMG
salah
and Twisted
skor.
Minds, and we're gonna be seeing it here again in Deus Bolt and RQ, which is the reason why Deus Bolt was actually dubbed as the dark horse back in the M5 World
Bentar ya,
Championship.
aku mute.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
this is what we said. If any team could pull this off, it is definitely Deus Volt. And they put on a show for game number 2. I mean, RQ Hoshi was dominating that entire game. But hey, once it gets to that late game, turrets are not even necessary. It really just boils down to who can execute more on the team fights on the neutral objective, Lord. And that ended up being Deus Volt able to bait out the utility and rush in for the opportunity, and they seized it. This is going to put RQ Hoshi in a very tight position now as this series is evened out. Now, which way does it go? RQ Hoshi, I think they did everything right in the early game. In the mid game as well, they just weren't able to close out in the late, as we are now jumping into some of the spicy engagements for match number 2.
Yeah, the setups here were on point actually. For the side of RQ, you see Brusco just pressuring out a lot of Kid Bomba there over on the early game, right? Like, even though he's able to sustain, Banana was able to dominate the lane. And I did mention a lot about the CC earlier, that it is definitely annoying type of hero to lane with, right? Like you see the knockups here, the setups here from Deus Volt was actually on point. There were some times that RQ Hoshi was punished, but ultimately what RQ Hoshi did right here in the early game was taking the objectives, the space too, which is exactly why they were able to push it to a point that Deus Volt only had
Kenapa saya? Kenapa saya? Oke.
Okay. Yeah, the MVP is going to be Sunset Lover. I did mention the Novaria plays coming out from him. This is actually one of the most banned also by the opponents, right? The vision, the burst, even the snipe kills that he was able to take. And I was pointing it out like mid-game, like nobody is taking down Sunset Lover yet. There were attempts on trying to take him down, but he had that Purify. And having this combination of magic burst and cooldown items, it was so easy to spam the skills here. And which is why the Novaria Zarya still proves to be one of the best mid laners right now in the current meta. Looking at RRQ Hoshi here, Irad definitely had a hard time here with this Dyrod, right? Like this heavy CC type of composition from Dia's Fault. Yes, he can dish out the burst damage, but it made it hard because Kid Bomba was there. You got Sallow setting up the plays, and by the time that all these heroes, Sunset Lover and Hiko, scaled up, RQ just took the toll in one of those final clashes there. That just turned the tides around, which is exactly why we are going to game number 3.
Definitely going to game number 3, and that was the most intense match so far of the Game of Futures 2024. Who would have thought Deus Volt's able to turn this around and take us to a game number 3 against RQ Hoshi, who's just been dominating all of their opponents. And it boiled down to some last-minute changes with the Lord and a couple of issues with RQ Hoshi being able to close out the game. I mean, they committed really well on the side lanes on all the major objectives. They were able to take everything, but then it boiled down to not being able to close it out. And now, with it sitting 1-1, Deus Volt having a chance to claim this series.
Yeah, it's a 2-1 definitely from these two stellar teams, and Deus Volt, you just can't count them out just yet. After that performance there by RQ Hoshi, the thing that RQ Hoshi just got everything in the bag, right? The early game, the mid game, and that one clash that just turned everything around for the side of Deus Volt. And we're going to game number 3. I'm expecting to see maybe a Novaria pickup for RQ, or maybe just ban it away totally. I mean, at this point, there's a lot of heroes that you have to consider putting on the ban list, but the Novaria, either steal it away or put it on the ban list.
And I love seeing matches that go to a game 3. Just seeing both of these teams fight it out. I mean, honestly, anybody that wins this, you can definitely tell they put in a lot of work to get there. It was not a one-sided story. Deus Volts, if they claim victorious on this, it would be an epic, I guess, considered a reverse sweep if they do pull it off. But if RQ Hoshi is able to do it, then hey, I mean, they just had one bad game. I do think, though, in order for Deus Volts to have a chance to even win this next game, they gotta find a way to dominate the early phase, because RQ Hoshi got everything in the entire game up until that last the end game. But I don't think they're gonna let them go to that late game again and not execute to be able to close it out. So as we do jump into this next match, let us know what you guys think that are watching the stream. Was that the most intense match we have seen so far in the Game of Futures 2024? Group stage A is where it's at. I don't know about y'all, but these matches have been crazy. We got to see Bebex and Nico fight it out, and now Deus Volt and RQ Hoshi, and they are definitely not disappointing today with the intensity.
Yeah, man, I think all of the matches that I've seen here in Games of the Future are all good. And we're just talking about the group stages. We're going to be having, of course, the semifinals, even the quarterfinals later on. So group stage is already kind of telling to how all these teams are just really good in their respective regions, which is the reason why they're here in Games of the Future. And having Deus Volt here in RRQ is just for that second game, right? It was unfortunate. It was one team fight that turned it around, and I think RQ Hoshi has to take into consideration right now what they pick up in the jungler role. Like Irad had that die rod, right? It can deal that burst, but it just did not shine in that game number 2.
Now, the only question I have here is both games we saw Kid Mamba pick up the Ruby, and it didn't really perform that well in my honest opinion. I don't think it really had that major of an impact. Maybe like a couple of good sets toward like that 20-minute plus mark. But is that worth it to really slot it in? Or does he just go for something else that he's just a little bit more proficient at? I just don't think it's really working in his favor against a team like RQ Hoshi. I think they're just able to kind of give him a lot more of a harder time in that XP lane than he's anticipating. So I think maybe switching it up, trying to find a way to find a hero that can have a little bit more of an impact in the early phase could make the difference that Deus Volts is looking for to turn this around. If not, again, I'm expecting Skylar. I'm expecting the side of RQ Hoshi to dominate in the gold lane and the XP lane, and overall just win the early phase.
Yeah, I think the Deus Volt here too is there was a chain CC happening there, right? And finally, when they got that all perfected, Yeah, RRQ just definitely was not prepared for that. And they went for that one-way push. Here in the third game, I think there's a lot of things that the RRQ have to talk about, right? It's already the match point. DS Volt could possibly pick up that reverse sweep, which is really upsetting too, right? If that does happen. But RRQ Hoshi, if they manage to maintain what they had in that early game, maybe close it out. They were really careful too, but if they manage to close it out really early too, that would be good for them because DS Vault had those two late game heroes and they weren't able to do anything about that in that final stage. They already they are already picking up the bans here as fast as now. They banned the Minotaur, they banned the Phobius too. Matilda and the Fanny too from the other side for Deus Vault, still respecting the fact that Irad is very much capable of using this hero. We still have the Guinevere, the Ruby, the Novaria that could be stolen here by RQ.
Yeah, definitely can be stolen here. You know, now RQ Hoshi is going to have first pick, which means they have priority over who they want to slot in first. We did see the Benedetta last time picked up for them. It was
Halo.
banned out
Berapa tuh saya
in the
sekarang ya?
previous game. Do they let Banana pick that up again? No, they are going to ban
Nah,
it out. So
lampu
they
virus
already
Minotaur.
they're playing smart so far for Days Folds. They know better than to let Banana have that. And honestly, I feel like I would do the same thing. You just got to respect his mastery on it.
Berapa
But
sih?
the Joy is going to walk. It usually was banned out
Iya.
in the previous matches.
Okay.
And this time, RQ Hoshi will be able to pick him up.
Oh, so Deus Vault, they can go for the CC here. It's open. CC Guinevere, CC Ruby here for the side of the Deus Vault. But they still need someone to take control of this droid. The usual answer is usually a Kaja or a Franco, the only two heroes in the game that have suppression. Or is Deus Vault gonna go with the classic method that we see right now, like double CCs for I mean, I'm not talking about the hero, but like heavy CC type of composition here for their side, or maybe even pick up the Novaria as early as now.
Yeah, I would definitely say the suppression is probably one of the best things they can use, especially
Yeah.
up against that Joy to be able to keep him at bay. They are going to go in for their marksman, though. Going to
Alah.
lock in that Claude. I mean, Hiko, they want to get him
Kalau
comfortable
dimakan
in
ya?
that gold lane,
Nggak deh.
especially going
Nggak,
up
nggak,
against
nggak jadi.
Skylar. And we all know how much damage he can deal. He was doing really good on that
Nggak,
carry in the
nggak,
last game as well. So
nanti aja.
to be able to see the
Makan dulu,
Claude
makan dulu.
will guarantee them some late game damage from the side of Deus Volt, but it's going to allow some other picks to walk in favor for RQ. I mean, Guinevere is still on the table. It could be picked up if they want it. They could slot it in the roam position. It could be a jungle. It could be an XP. But
Oh,
this looks
there's
like
a
a
steal.
response. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a steal, right? Because they're trying to deny Sunset Lover having the opportunity to pick up that Navaria, which is gonna force him to something that he may not be as good with.
Yeah, I think Sunset Lover has a lot of heroes under his belt. So not only the Navaria, but definitely in this patch, he has been picking this up several times. And
Alam nggak
RQ
lihat
Hoshi kind of
WA saya?
understands that, okay, we need to have something either like, put Sunset Lover on
Nggak lihat
something
WA?
else, maybe perhaps like a DS Volt right now. Going for either like the usual answer is like a Valentina,
Lihat,
right?
nggak
There's
lihat
a lot
WA?
of good ultimates to pick up here for the
Nggak.
side of RRQ,
Oke, bagus.
but I'm not so sure if that's going to be enough. They still
Kenapa
need to
emang?
answer out to the
Nggak.
Joy right now. They do have the CC, they do have the Claude, so will they
Ah,
pick up
males
like
ah.
a different type of
Malesin
hero
apa
for the side
lagi?
of Days Fault in terms of their own position?
Ya,
They're gonna be locking in this Faramis. Still not gonna be
Malesin
still not
apa
gonna confirm
lagi?
anything if this is gonna be towards the this is gonna go to the XP. Oh, sorry, gonna go towards the roam or the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, they have the support from the Faramis, definitely going to keep them alive. I mean, they can't pick the Valentina for RQ since they picked up that Navaria, so it does put them at a little bit of a disposition. I like what Desvolt
Kan
is
nggak
doing here.
di-share
I mean,
ke
grab the
ini
sustainability. They already
YouTube.
have CC for the strong frontline presence. We talked about Kim Bomba running the Ruby and how it wasn't as effective, but this time it may be a different story with the CC in play, but he is going up against the Ruby on the other side, and that is going to be Banana running that, who has been known to be one of those heroes or players that know how to rotate around the map and then get to the mid lane and also to the objectives first. So that may be a little bit of a challenge for Kid Bomba. I got to see how he plays into it just because of how well Bananas should be able to sustain himself inside of that lane. But I will say I'm looking forward to seeing how well the CC will play into his hands. I don't think the Ruby was it for Kid Bomba. I think the CC may be a possible answer. Now, we still don't see anything for this Joy on the table so far.
Ih,
As we are
Joy-nya
looking at the
lepas ya?
bans, they are going to go in for this Boxia for the side of RQ Hoshi. Going to ban that out, trying to limit the jungle pool for the side of Deus Volts. Final ban on the way for the side of Deus Volts is going to go ahead and be that Bruno. A possible problem for the Clyde. Now the carry could still be a viable option. I mean, I would have liked to have had the Claude, especially up against the Faramis. They need some late game insurance, though, I would say, for the side of RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, I think Skylar could go for the Nathan here for the final pick. They still do
Ooh,
have
that's a
that
good one.
last ban for their side. The Barretts was also difficult to deal. Okay, wow. Right on cue again. Just as I was saying, the Barretts could be a problem for them. And it seems to be a pickup that a lot of the junglers go for first, right? Like, if not the Martis, they go for the Barretts. And this is going to be, wow, double support for the
Ella,
side
by
of
the way,
Bruce.
Bambang mana Ella?
This time it's in the form of the Angela and the Faramis. Let's see what the Magister will pick up last. There's still the Martis that they can
Hah?
pick up, but again, I don't see any answers
Hilang?
just yet to control the joy here of Iran.
Iya,
Once it
Bambang
pops up,
kemana?
right? And now Skylar and Brusco still need the hero. I'm not so sure if the Ruby here will go to the XP lane, since Brusco is also one of those players that is known to work this Ruby really well. So let's see what RQ Hoshi will pick up here in their second phase. I do like that Nathan pick though. Like, it has a mobility, it has a burst that they definitely need right now, especially since the Faramis is in the composition.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best option that they have right now. They are going to go in for the Cho, though. They're going to use away the
Cool,
Dragon,
classic
some
Brusco
single
pick.
target CC. Yeah, classic Brusco pick. That's actually going to be fun to watch when we do
So,
jump in there. I mean, they have the crowd control already
Joy
from
Novaria.
Ruby on Banana, and then they also have the Navaria on top of that. So it looks like the single target CC just really fits well within this composition. We still got to see who they're going to run in that jungler spot, though. I guess it'll be Joy Jungle. It'll be Joy Jungle.
Yeah, Joy.
So Skylar
Yeah, they
is
still
gonna
need
have to
something
pick
for
up his
Skylar
marksman.
though.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean,
the Natan, it
Nathan?
has to be the Natan. Yeah, it has to be. I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, the Brody's up there, but I don't think it's as will do as well as
It's
the
banned out.
Nathan in here. Oh, it is banned out. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so
banned
Nathan
out.
has an option.
I'm thinking something along the lines of Nathan or
Martis,
the
Faramis,
Iksha,
Sawo.
right? But the Iksha can be zoned away here by the CC. So I think RRQ Hoshi just has to think of that. I like this troll pick coming out from Brusco because a little trivia for everyone, he is one of the top Bruno players in the Philippines. And this was one of his signature picks even when he was playing the amateur scene. So it's nice to see this comeback coming out from the Brusco. Definitely can be it can be a problem, especially for those the heroes like Angela and the Claw that can get isolated in this clash. The single target pickoffs can still be a thing. With someone like Brusco handling this Cho, it'll definitely be a game changer here for RRQ. So they're really taking their time here to pick up their marksman. Either I'm thinking along the lines of an Iksha or a Nathan here for RRQ Hoshi's final pick. They need that burst.
Yeah, I think I heard something.
Okay, did I hear that right? Did I hear that right?
There's no way we heard
Is
that right, because it sounded like you
that
said they
for
picked
real?
a Layla. Is that real?
Okay, I think it's real. They repeated
is
it twice.
real.
Yes, it is Layla.
So
Okay,
we got
I was
production in our
talking that they
ears.
needed. Yeah.
Lagi makan apa sih?
Oh man, yeah. I was thinking that. Okay, are you guys
Enggak,
joking about
udah.
that pick? Okay, no, it's not. It's real. Okay, we'll find out. We'll definitely find out once we head over into the land of dawn. But our production has confirmed it. That's a Layla last pick. I was talking about burst, but I wasn't expecting that to come
Layla?
right off. The Layla
Serius?
pick here for Get to the Future.
Sama,
As we head
Bispo.
on to our match point. This is gonna be RQ Hoshi and Deus Bolt for this
RSG.
B03
Kan?
as Deus Bolt already kickstarting it up.
Ih.
Oh,
Gonna be backing away and then pick up the first blood.
we
It
spawned
is.
into the land of dawn.
I'm not so sure if they're gonna
walked
go.
into a straight kill. Wow, what a good.
Tapi
pick
bener
up.
tau,
It is a
bisa tau
though.
Layla.
I gotta ask you, BK, you got $1 million on the line and you're competing? You're picking up a Layla?
And she is the poster girl of Mobile Legends after all. Not so sure if this is gonna be a redraft. Definitely gonna be hard
bisa,
in
bisa,
the early
Nggak
game.
bisa, nggak
As
bisa,
you
nggak
can see
bisa.
the aggression here from the side of Deus Bolt. Iran doing his very best, pops in the ultimate to pick off Magistor. That's gonna be it. RQ Hoshi
Ay,
picks
ma.
up their first kill.
Ini antara
of this
menang antara
game.
kalah ini Reki.
You know what they say about Layla? She is a glass cannon.
Laylanya
It's
harus
gonna require a lot of
Dijaga.
protection to kind of keep her safe on the bot side. So RQ Hoshi
Dan harusnya bukan
has
flicker,
some
sayang.
presence in the bottom lane, especially up against Hiko on that Claude, who can kind of be a lot
Sprint
more
gak sih?
mobile and deal that damage. I mean, you're already seeing Brusco rotating to the bottom side. I mean, he realizes that is definitely the focus and the objective. But this is the first Layla game that we have in the Game of Futures 2024. We're the winners match group stage. Hey, is it going to be 100% win rate or 100% loss rate? Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean,
GG,
in
Restream.
ranked games, she's
Yeah,
popular,
GG,
right? Like when it reaches the late game, you want burst, you got it in the form of a Layla, and once it positions itself really well, you can definitely dish out the damage. They don't really have a lot of frontline here. They do have Irad to be able to pick up on that early game, but Skylar right now, as long as he doesn't get
Oh,
solo
damage-nya lebih
picked
gede
off here in
Layla
on
saya
this lane,
dibanding
he should be
Clouded.
fine, right? Like just give him the time to
Tuh.
farm up, pretty much like the Claude. He should be able to deal out the damage. It does not have that mobility, which is the reason why it doesn't really get picked up in professional play.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a Layla in an NA scene when it comes to like our qualifiers for international tournaments. So, hey,
We've
if you're
seen
at
it in
North
Malaysia.
America and you're
No.
watching it, hey, maybe is this something that you try at home, or do you
This is
just
the
put
key.
right back on the shelf? Is this the key? Skylar is running it, and we know he's usually more dominant inside of his lane. So I feel like if anybody can pull it off, it's gonna be him.
Ya Allah.
Yeah, I mean, the Layla
Kenapa,
pick,
Sa?
right? Like, we were thinking of all the possibilities here.
Ya,
And
masih
RQ
gak
was just
aja
like,
pakai
Coach
Layla.
Fred was just like, okay, you know
Tapi
what,
kalau
all those
misalnya
possibilities,
paham
we're picking up a Layla.
pasif
And speaking of
pasifnya
Layla,
mah
right,
bisa.
it is pretty much the goal. It's not that far apart from the Claude. So, as long as it can maintain the lane, it should be
Meta
fine.
lagi Layla,
RQ
guys.
Hoshi going for the aggression right now. Brusco goes in for the Wave the Dragon.
Tuh.
Does not get anything. Nice tug in there though by Banana. Sawa goes down as the rest of Geo's Fault forced to back away from that one.
Yeah, forced to back away. 2-2 on the score.
Harusnya
So
siang
far,
nggak sih?
both sides having kills. But Brusco was one of the members that fell, and so was Skylar on the
Harusnya
Layla
siang nggak sih,
early
ya?
in the game. That was a Magister taking both of those kills. 2-1-0 right now, having a good rotation on this Martis. Slotted in that
Bisa
jungle.
jadi.
Sunset Lover taken very low
Soalnya
there by
yang
Octa.
si
Using
Despol kan dia
the hero
tipe
that we
team fight
primarily
ya.
see Sunset Lover on, Navaria, against him.
Terus kalau misalnya
Oh,
RRQ
man, I
tipe
was
tabrak
not,
dia.
of all the options, right? I was not expecting to see this come out here on the match point at that. Like maybe in the first game, right? But match point. Oh man, I mean, I'm just at the loss for words right now. The Layla pick, let's see, right? Like as long as this can scale up, this should be fine. RQ Hoshi is doing a good job, like picking up all of those objectives just so that the Layla can scale up. Right now, Banana starting up this turtle. Russo as well, going for the Wave to Dragon. It's gonna be Magistar to target.
bingung.
Nice stun there from the side of Octa. Netherrealm gonna be worked on here by the side of Deus Fault, gonna be able to sustain. There's the hard card as well onto Magistar. And RQ Hoshi gonna be backing it away. Turtle gonna be reset right now as Brusco does not have that Wave to Dragon just yet.
Yeah, and now you are seeing Deuce Faults pulling the aggro of this turtle. Gonna try and go ahead and claim it. Irad not really over there, but he does have the mobility with this Joy to close the distance. Turtle does get reset though, giving him a little bit of time to get that purple buff, but not much of a window. Irad able to get there in the blink of an eye. Magister takes on Brusco. Irad is able to claim the turtle for RRQ Hoshi, but Magister gets the double kill to respawn. 4-2 kill lead for Deuce Faults.
Oh man, 4 kills here for Deus Fault, 600 lead for them, and Irad doing his very best to make this team shine onto the early game. Again, yeah, we still left Skylar unchecked there. Let's take a look at his items later on, but for now, definitely the gold lane needs that farming. And once it reaches that late game, you should be able to dish out that damage that, you know, even the members here of Deus Fault
Skylar mati
have a
satu.
hard time dealing with.
Yeah, and already seeing Deus Faults off to a good start, leading the way in terms of kills and also gold. But lost that first neutral objective on that turtle play. Good steal from Irad last minute. We seen him earlier yesterday with the crazy Lancelot Lord steal, and it just shows you that he's really quick on finding a way into the neutral objective and getting those steals. Now with Deus Volts in the advantage, they need to find a way to shut down Skylar even more, delay the glass cannon from charging up. So if it does get to late game, that's where the Layla is going to come alive, and it'll be very hard to kind of burst them down. They don't really have many heroes on the side of Deus Volts to get to the back line. I mean, the only one they really have is kind of Kid Bomb. I guess they have Hiko if he can get there with the BMI, but it'll be a little risky, especially with Brusco having this show to be able to use the Way of the Dragon for the single target CC.
Oh man, Brusco right now taking up the damage here coming out from people. Blazing went from the backside. He's gonna get tugged in there. Sunset Lover will pick up the kill as Deus Bolt right now standing at 6-2 up
Positif
against
lu.
RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, now you are
Kali aja comeback.
Sunset Lover will find Irad.
Pwede
That
aja
is
lah.
going to be another kill into the hands of Deus Volts, but a response back from RQ on the bot side. Skylar trying to connect. Trying to hit Hiko and take him down.
mati
Unable
dah.
to hit the mark.
Banana.
Maybe forced to recall. Now Banana may not be able to expand that distance. Forced to use the flicker, but Kid
Wah,
Bamba
Cici
right
dikejar dong.
behind him.
Aduh.
Really wants the kill, but not able to close the distance.
Yeah. Oh man, Deus Fault right now, they're doing their very best, making sure that all these lanes are covered before, you know, it heads to the First Lord. And so far, they're covering
Hikonya
all of the map
kenyang sih
straight.
itu.
Skylar here moving towards the top side to make sure that lane is covered too. But right now, Deus Fault, they're pressuring after pressure. Nice tug in there, Kid Bomba. Gonna be able to get in all the damage. Sunset Lover to save the day with the Nether Realm, but it's inevitable. They're under the towers here of RQ Hoshi, and they're gonna take in a lot of the damage as they successfully defend this mid turret.
Yeah, able to defend that mid turret. RQ Hoshi trying to hold in there. They don't want to lose this match and be sent down to stage 1 of the playoffs. They need this victory over Deus Volts. A little bit of the miscalculated play up against Deus Volts in game number 2 costed them with the late Lord play. But now, as you are seeing both teams ready to clash it out, battle in the mid lane. Pulled back, different destination from Magister. Banana trying to join the party, not able to get there in time. Still behind in terms of kills and gold. RQ Hoshi up to a little bit of a rough start. Lost their turret on the bottom side. Still holding on to the remainders though, which will give Deus Volts a little bit of that map control they're looking for. Looking at Hiko though, doing a really good job of rotating around the map. Definitely can tell he's comfortable. So he's able to take that turret on the bot side. He has now shifted his focus onto the top lane. But now, speaking of Hiko, Heart Guard activated, keep him alive as Banana tried to get the set. Brusco about 50% HP. Skylar in the mid lane trying to deal damage with the Layla pick. Will be fighting it from afar, but Deus Volts trying to find a way to open up this mid lane turret. Not going to be able to do it though. Lord will spawn in the next 24 seconds.
Ini mah match
This
satunya
match
di
is
Pro
just
Deus
about to
Volt,
get
terus
started
game 2,
9
game
minutes
3
in. Oh
di
man, I'm just
Pur
gonna be
ini.
switching to Stream B because I just have to catch my breath just now. Okay, I'm gonna be switching it out with a private dancer, so you guys can expect to see more of me later on in Stream B. But I really do want to see what happens here in this match between RQ Hoshi and Deus Volt. Steph, you take the wheel for now.
Yeah, I will definitely take the will, but hey, I'm joined by another familiar face, actually on my side. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Private Dancer. Yesterday on Stream B has joined the party.
Wah, sakit banget.
Kick angin coba.
Ya, telat.
Yeah, Lord very low.
Eh,
It is
telat
going to
ke
drop
kecepatan.
down, and that is going to be Deus Volts able to claim that, and now trying to see some more ground on this game. I know Private is now just joining the table, so we'll do a little bit of a brief recap of what we've seen so far. RQ Hoshi takes game 1. Game 2, almost able to close it out, but not able to take control of the late game, and an epic turnaround from Deus Volts, taking us to a game 3, which now we are seeing Deus Volts leading the way. An unorthodox pick of Skylar from RQ Hoshi. Did pick up the Layla, which is the first Layla I think that me and you both have seen in the game of futures, at least Private, and definitely haven't seen it in North America in our MSC qualifiers.
Yeah, Layla, one of those picks that rarely comes up here. But man, what a story to tell! What a time to come in here to see all this excitement here. 1-1 between RQ Hoshi and Deus Volt right now.
Suaranya tiba-tiba jadi gini sih.
At the bottom.
Dari itunya
At the
kali.
bottom, Irad is going to be able to take down Sunset Lover, but down goes the turret on the top side. Ground control definitely in favor for
Waduh,
Dance. You're going to
sakit
see
Kid
the Astro Echo
Bomba.
connect Kid Bomba trying to get away, able to dodge the Astro Meteor just in time.
Gocekannya.
Man, that was like an instant
Waduh.
away from taking it down, but Arad on the
Sakit
chase
banget.
with the
Irat.
electrifying beat will be able to pick up that kill. Down goes another realm, trying to keep the team
Muter
alive.
kanan,
Sunset
muter
Lover, go ahead and
kiri.
hits the Shadow Stampede.
Brusco.
Wah,
Magister will find
pistolnya.
Brusco. That is going to
Lihat,
be
lihat,
a
lihat. Sakit banget damage
1-for-1
Layla.
trade for both sides. And yeah, now looking at things, like you said, Disvolts needs to kind of play safe, right? Focus on the objectives. This is the first time you've actually seen them take control of the early game
Wah,
up
sakit
against
banget Skylarnya.
RQ Hoshi. Normally they kind of trail behind and then pick it up in the late game
Skylar.
when RQ Hoshi makes a
Ini udah jadi
mistake.
lah
But so
itu,
far,
nunggu liat game aja
they
itu
are
Layla.
leading the way in this game. They need to take this turret in the mid lane. If they can take that, then they'll be able to invade the jungle of RQ Hoshi and put them on a little bit more of a defensive stance in their jungle. But yeah, as we are looking at some of the items popping up on the board, pay attention to
Ini pun
Skylar.
kalau
That's what
misalnya
we're
nggak
looking
ada
at. Bizarre Spirit does get
item
picked up.
defense, udah
Battle all the
rontok
way
itu.
though in the mid lane. Netherrealm being activated. 3-man set with the Astro Echo from afar
Layla kalau ada
from
late game udah
Octa,
mentok,
connected
udah
to this
rontok
Bolt,
itu.
and now taking the
Oh,
fight
kan
into the
bener.
jungle. Irad, electrifying beat, takes down Sunset Lover. Magister rushes in, finds Brusco. Irad will take that Magister for the double kill.
Itu dia sih.
Hiko with the hard guard going in. He wants some bodies. Banana very low. Hiko gets one. Skylar in the bush. He spotted him out, and Hiko gets
untung
the
mati
double.
lo.
But Skylar will take him down at the same time. 3-for-2 trade. Deus Folks still taking the lead, but Kid Bomba very low, trying to take down Irad. Forced to use that Vengeance. Sao keeping him alive from the side with this Angela pick. 12-8, Lord spawned in. Deus Folks may have a chance to pull the aggro, but they gotta wait for Magister to spawn back in. They do not have the retribution
nggak ada yang
to be able to take this objective
ini
yet.
yang nggak ada
This may be a
yang
stalemate for both sides. And honestly, this is the
kurang.
closest game
Iya.
that we have had so far in this entire
Kayak ada
series
yang-
between these two amazing teams. But it's going to go down to the wire on who wants it a little bit more. Sawo taking about 50% HP, and now the lore pit has been gained by the side of RQ Hoshi.
And it does seem like we're at a point where both teams are kind of suffering that late game. I want to say that late game fall off where you have
Baru lagi ya yang ngomong.
starting to fall
Iya,
off.
perasaan tadi cewek sama cowok ya.
On the Martis that is starting to fall off. Both
Kok
teams
tiba-tiba
trying to
jadi
counter
suasana
but
ini,
still
saya
taking
tuh
damage.
suasana
For me
Amerika,
right
saya.
now, Skylar is probably, even though it's not a pick we see very often, this is about the point
Wah, ini
when
udah
those
dipush ini.
Laylas begin to pop off with that heavy damage and that shredding ability.
Push
Yeah,
sih.
speaking of shredding ability, down goes the turret on the bot side. When
Ah,
the
bener
picked
kan?
up by Hiko, will
Mulai
definitely help
pecah
him
nih.
out against Skylar. We mentioned the Layla, right? It's a
Mulai
glass
pecah
cannon,
nih.
very fragile when touched, but when fighting from afar can deal some
Mulai
massive
di
damage. And it
belakang.
looks like RQ Hoshi, even though they're down in turrets, they're trying to hold off to the late game. Trust in Skylar. That is going to be the hashtag for today. That is definitely their game plan. But Deus Volts, it's a ticking time bomb. They need to close this out before Skylar gets the full build.
Yeah, we can see right now a little bit of a dance at the Lord, still trying to vie for a position. Magister working his hat off, and right now in a great position. Banana still giving his team vision and making sure that they can counter this when it comes. And Lord at health now, Steph.
Yeah, at a health, but it is going to be reset. So we'll get
Bisa,
a
Pak.
little bit more of that HP.
Bisa, Pak.
Banana in a good position to kind of pull that aggro, but Kid Bomba doing great on this CC. He didn't run the Ruby this time around. I think he's definitely performing a lot better on it. I mean, he's only 1, 2, and 3, but he's having such a strong
Liquor
front
udah
line
ready
presence.
tuh.
But look at RQ Hoshi's positioning. I mean, Octa is very far out there, not going to be able to engage if this fight does break out inside of the
sakit.
Lord Pit.
Tuh
Right
yang
now, RQ
rontok
Hoshi
tahu kalau Layla
having the
sumpah.
control, may be able to take this
Nunggu
objective.
liat game aja soalnya.
Yeah, and it's this next one being so important now, right? As
Wah,
both of
Kid
these
Bombanya
teams have a
salah.
little bit of an advantage. Okay, Bamba in a little bit of trouble here, gets bursted down.
Yeah, burst it down, and now
Salah,
taking the
salah,
fight
salah,
into
salah.
the mid lane.
Mancing itu.
Is going to go ahead and BMI out of there from Hiko. Magister is going to find Brusco.
Yes.
Octa takes down Kid Bomba. 1-for-1 trade. But both
sakit.
teams still able to take this fight. Lord still intact. And nobody has been able to claim it so far. Waiting for an opportunity but it just hasn't been open for either side. But this may be it. Look at Skylar. He's getting close to the late build. I mean, just
Waduh,
look at how
sakit
fast he's
banget.
chunking
Udah
down
sakit
this
kan?
Luminous Lord. This may be a problem for Deus Volt. Is
Dia
now
ini juga ada
Ayam.
jari.
Yoshi has found their first
Dia ini
lead
juga ada
in
jari
this
kan?
game to be able to open up this map.
Yeah, and right now they got minions at mid. You can tell, especially with how that Lord went off, how important this game is for both of them. Both
Malah
teams trying to
kebalik.
make sure that they don't
Apa
make
itemnya?
a mistake. We're
Oh,
at the
udah.
17-minute mark. Most of the builds
Intalkar,
already at about full build. We're going to
Berserker,
start seeing the show up of some
Pascal,
immortalities come up on the
Oh, udah,
screen.
udah.
Maybe even some of those winter
Rontok udah.
truncheons as we start getting later and later. Magister in a little bit of trouble as Irrad goes in with the electrifying beats, but decides to turn away.
Rontok saya gitu
Yeah,
mah
now
udah.
at the 50K mark for gold. So everybody at the late game build, this is what Skylar's been waiting for. Was Coach Bryn up to a master plan? And Layla, we trust, is the model for RRQ Hoshi as Skylar getting ready to risk it all and show some brand new meta for the Game of Futures 2024. Hiko will find Irad.
Waduh,
Red
ya,
Sim may be able to get
blunder.
another immortality being procced on Brusco. May not be able
Ya,
to get out of there
pusing
as
emang.
Kid Bamba will shut him down. 2 members down for
pusing
RRQ
emang.
Hoshi, and the push from Deus Volt into the mid lane. Banana,
Ooh.
about 50% HP. Skylar, forces to win in nature, may be able to deal the damage, but Kid Bamba finds him. This is the second kill for Kid Bamba so far in the past 30 seconds. And now a 16-9 kill lead for the side of Deus Volt.
And through all of this smoke, at the 18-minute mark, mid towers still standing. That's unheard of right now. And it just tells you what kind of defense, what kind of game that both of these teams are playing and what they have in mind. Oh, going in, Kid Bamba takes a heap of damage from that tower, but decides to back off and then clear out the mid minions again.
Yeah, able to clear out those mid minions and
Ya,
Private, this is
emang.
getting to the late game. We
Udah lah.
know what happens
Kasih aja
when
ngasih
it gets
ke
this late. It's a
RRQ.
battle of ping pong, and
Ini udah pasti
it's just going to
menang
boil
kita.
down to who can
Soalnya
execute a little bit better
lelenya
on
udah
either
jadi.
the split pushing or the team fights for the neutral objective. So far, we've seen Deus Volt do a really good job controlling this game, but a similar story to the issue that RQ Hoshi fell into the last game. They were not able to close it out with the massive advantage they had in the early phase, and now hitting that 20-minute mark, over 50K in gold. Who will be able to turn the tide in their favor and claim this series?
Yeah, and you said it best. We're so late in the game that it comes down to execution, patience. Who's going to make the first mistake? Who's going to get that first advantage? Maybe catch somebody out, checking a bush they shouldn't have, out of position, maybe too far away from their
Harusnya si
team to
Bomba
be able
ini
to
ya,
back
apa
them
sih?
up, or even maybe diving a tower. Now that we still have all of our mid towers up here, you can see Sunset Lover and Brusco just saying hello to each other in this bush. Couple of little love taps. Ooh, Brusco actually makes a little bit of a flicker there. We'll talk
tadi
about
lihat
that
guys tadi
Magister at the
cowoknya.
top.
Yeah, and the Lord
Yeah,
does
yeah.
spawn in RQ Hoshi in a possible place to be able to control it and maybe able to take it. But pay attention to Irad, right? Normally we see Banana being the one to split push when you'd run the Benedetta, but now that he's forced on the Ruby, he kind of lacks a little bit of that mobility to be able to provide that split push, and that's where Irad is going to come into favor, especially on this Joy, being able to have that high mobility. But now with the Lord intact
Culik
Magister,
ini nggak sih, Layla?
he's waiting. He knows
Atau
that
Navaria
RQ wants this
masukin
objective,
ke-
but they're just gonna kind of do the dance around the Lord pit and wait for somebody to make the mistake. This is what we talked about. A battle of the late game down to the
Basic
wire.
itunya.
20 minutes in.
Bomba,
Will we see David to be able to take
Nah.
it? Big Arm Infinite set.
Ooh.
Rocking up that Vengeance.
Bamba
Spark
in
activated to
trouble.
save Bamba. Is going to be able to sustain
Aduh,
himself with the
baru kena
damage.
lagi
A
sih.
good save from Sawo. And it looks like they will be able to
Udah jadi
disengage,
itu.
but that was a very close call.
And here's the thing too, is on one side, you have Hiko, who has to be present, has to be in front of everybody, because he still needs to get his stacks on that Claude from the Lord. So you
Gas
know
nggak sih,
that
Skylar?
on the other side, Brusco is definitely looking for him, trying to connect so that he can get that wave of the dragon onto Claude and take him out. Unfortunately, when he puts himself out there, Deuce Fault ready. Oh my god, look at the damage he just took.
It was like a headshot right there. 50% HP over there onto Hiko from Octa on this Navaria.
Aku
But look
kira
at this
Okta
one.
make
Trying to
ini,
deal some
Cang.
massive damage to the Lord. Kibamba
Enggak
very
lah.
low. Look at Sawa.
Enggak mirip itunya,
Skill
skinnya.
Notice.
Ada kan yang kayak
Yeah,
gitu?
and they're doing their best. Kid Bamba doing his best to try to zone out the rest
Ini
of the team.
apa,
Look at
air
the damage
kencing
he's
ya?
taken. You can see that the Hearts Guard is ready to try to
Yeah.
protect. And this actually might be
Nggak
going
bisa
to
ngomong
Deuce Fault.
soalnya ada yang
Oh, but
stay balik.
look it up at the top.
Oh, yep. And now Irat has been known to close the distance. He's got so many Lord steals. Got one with the Lancelot. He's gotten one with the Joy before, but not this time around. Salvo will shut him down. They don't have the retribution now for RRQ Hoshi. Deisful has found their opportunity to possibly seize this game. And the clash is now on the way. RRQ Hoshi wants revenge. Skylar finds Hiko. Sunset Lover will take down Bruce. Skylar.
Sakit banget Skylar.
Sunset Lover. The glass cannon is revved up.
Aduh,
and
ngapain
ready to
maju ya
go.
awak? Udah loh.
Oh, but I mean, you have Sunset Lover.
Aduh,
They're gonna have to come back to the base.
lawak.
They're gonna have to clear that out. But even with the advantage,
Harusnya tadi bantuin Lord aja.
but then answering back, RRQ Hoshi able to find some kills of their own to make sure that they're not able to put pressure on this. Oh my God!
Skylar! What a play! Able to take down Hiko. What is
sakit
going on?
banget.
Sunset Lover did fall. You see everybody having a hard time now against Skylar dominating. Maybe able to get another one. Bamba! Octa is going to be able to steal the kill though last second. I feel like Skylar would have connected there.
Ini memang
But
MVP Skylar
nonetheless,
kayaknya ya.
they've taken the advantage and will be able to seize this Lord.
Yeah, unless we get them rushing in here, but this does look like, especially with Skylar's damage, this is the Lord that's going to be going over to RRQ Hoshi. We're taking a look at the items. We're starting to see the show. Some of those winter truncheons are out now. Some of those immortalities are out yet. And it's all going to come down to this base defense. But this is a 23-minute Lord.
Now, was Coach Bryn up to some devious activity with this Layla being slotted in? Does he know something we don't? Because it looks like this may end up winning the game for RRQ Hoshi with the full late game build and a Luminous Lord making his way through the top side.
I guess we'll have to find out. We see those
betul.
we see towers being
Rontok.
shredded. And a big I'm Offended lands on the Magistar.
Rontok.
Yeah, big I'm Offended is going to land. Lord make his way into the base. 4 days, Volt. One final stand. This is their chance to turn it around, possibly make it up to the Stage 2 playoffs of the Game of Futures 2024. RQ Hoshi finding a hard time making it into their base, and Deus Volt will be able to clear out this Lord.
But they still have the lanes to contend with. Still have the bottom, or the mid and the bottom. You can see all of the minions started to crash in here. They still have their high grounds, so still some defense up there. But I mean, man, at this point in the game, all it takes is a good team fight to reduce some of those towers down to paper.
Man, I'm telling you right now, Skylar is looking for that savage play. You just see how patient he's waiting in the back line, waiting to seize the opportunity to deal that long-range damage. Now, the Lord is not in anymore. They were able to burst it down from Deus Volt, so they have another chance to turn this around. Some solid defense on that push from RQ Hoshi. Again, at another stalemate, 24 minutes in. I mean, even looking at the items, everybody is in double digits now in terms of gold. When the Nature was picked up from Skylar, and then also when the Nature from Hiko, definitely gonna have to bait one of them out in order to deal that final hit against each other if it boils down to it. But 13-9, and honestly, it doesn't even matter. We're not even, the kills don't matter, the gold doesn't matter anymore. This official late game, it's gonna be a 5v5 on this Lord. As you are seeing RQ Hoshi very comfortable now. They're in the back in this entire game, but have found their footing.
Yeah, and right now the thing is you're at the point you need an answer for Skylar. You cannot leave him in the back. You cannot leave him doing damage to your team. And that's a problem for Deuce Volt right now, because in the front lane, you have a Rod who's going to be able to go in there, do a lot of burst damage, and they're all going to try to focus that down. And while that's happening, you still have Skylar in the back. So that is the big question here, is can Deuce Volt find a way to get to that back to be able to take Skylar out for some of the next fights?
You're already seeing them trying to take control of these lanes. Deus Volt's going to go ahead and clear the top side, ready to take this fight into the Lord Pit. But can they sustain themselves? We already know Skylar's going to be hitting very hard now. They need to find a way to get to him in the backline. They don't have the easiest composition to do it. Maybe Kid Bomba can rush back there, or Hiko with the BMI, with the Blazing Duet. Could be the trick, but they have to watch out for that Wind of Nature. As soon as he procs that, he may be able to burst them down. Lord at about 50% HP, and it looks like RQ Hoshi may be able to take this. Where is Magister? Not able to get there in time, and Lord will go to RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because they have waves pushing. The rest of the team was done dealing with those while Magister was basically alone, being zoned out by the rest of RRQ Hoshi while they took the Lord. So it was basically him alone trying to get in there. And I mean, you're not really going to earn much by trying to dive in there and dying, being one down with this Lord coming down as well. Just two high grounds.
Makanin itu aja Martis.
That's right, 2 high grounds left and 1 Layla ready to take it into the base of Deus Volts. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Make it or break it for both sides. Will Skylar be able to close it out with the Layla, or Deus Volt be able to turn this around, take down the Luminous Lord, and clear the team of RRQ Hoshi, knocking at the door for their base? In a minute's notice, we will know which way this will go. Down goes the inhibitor for the mid lane. Lord at about 25% HP will be bursted down. Blaze the wet from Hiko to be able to clear it. Another Lord not working in RQ Hoshi's favor. And now may have to still try and contest with these minions. Do they go in for it though? Or do they push back and wait for the next Lord to spawn in? And Private, I think we might be seeing a 30-minute game.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. It's not as exciting, but it is the smart play. Lord goes in, you take down the high ground towers. That's all you got to do, because you know you're winning these team fights when it comes to the next level. So all you need to do is be patient, wait for the next Lord, and then you have the pushing power against Deuce Vault without any defense.
Layla.
Yeah, and right now, Team underscore picked up from Kid Baba. There it goes. Skylar doing massive damage. Magister very low is going to go ahead and get a little bit of that regen from Angela. They're definitely going to be testing out Sawo and making sure he can heal the team up as everybody at that full build. We're not in late game, Private. We're in late game. As we are looking at both teams fighting it out. Astro Echo connects to the full team of Deus Volt. A possible chance for them to deal some damage. It's like a game of cat and mouse right now between both of them, because Deus Volt, they want to find a way to get the Skylar, but they don't have anybody that can really close the distance before getting bursted down. Yes, you have Kid Bomba, but as soon as he rushes in there, Skylar is going to pretty much take him out, or he's going to get hit by Brusco. But on the same side of the table, for the side of RQ Hoshi, they need to find a way to close out this game, and they're engaging and disengaging is where they have a slight disadvantage. They need to find Brusco going in with the way of the dragon to get a possible setup if they want to be able to end this game, or Banana finding a crucial set with the I'm Offended.
Yeah, and this is that's kind of the big play of this game right now. I mean, you saw a little bit of a fight here at the purple buff. Luckily, Magister still able to get the retry off, get his purple buff here. But yeah, as you're taking a look at these items, I mean, Layla actually does not have the defensive item, so you actually might be able to burst her down.
Yeah, no boots. Running out there with just plain old socks in the land of Dawn. Kid Baba rocking that vengeance. Very low hit with the snap. Will shut him down. Kid Baba will fall and may open up the opportunity for the next Lord to be taken again by RRQ Hoshi. Can Deus Volt contest? Do they go in, or do they just risk it all, go back to the base, and try and take down yet another Luminous Lord?
They have to make something happen here. They're not going to be able to withstand another Lord push, but they already have minions forcing their way into the core right now. And this is going to be another Lord for RRQ.
This is the set they were looking for. Possible kill. Irad will get the Lord, but massive damage on a Deus Volt. Blatant Duet into the backline. Skylar takes on Magister. Hiko finds Brusco. Skylar still alive. 1 HP. Immortality being procced on Hiko. He needs to get out of there. The BMI not able to make up the distance. Irad will shut him down. Banana will fall. Sunset Lover takes down Irad. Banana with a truncheon play. Still alive, but Sunset Lover gets the double. Skylar, though, Octa 2v2.
Oh my gosh.
Down to the wire. Takes down Sunset Lover. Another. Sawa will fall. And ladies and gentlemen, RRQ Hoshi will take the winner's match. Move on forward to Games of Future to stage 2 of the playoffs, shutting down their opponent in that bloodbath. Drops down into stage 1 of the upper qualifiers.
Yeah.
I just got here and I am
Mau Besok mau agenda kemana sih?
Already sweating. Let me tell you, there that was a
Dude,
match.
you,
No
I'm
matter
out
who
of
won
breath.
that match there.
Mau
Mana?
ngambil penelitian aja,
Oh, ke sekolah.
nggak ke kampus.
Oke. Dah, bobo. Maciu.
Ya.
Good night. Yo.